Boys, episode 3, This Week in Golf. We have a guest.
Kelley, can we hit the pin in here?
Absolutely. Highly encouraged.
What were you saying, Jace? Go ahead.
We have a guest for episode 3.
Oh my God,
this
so
is
exciting.
big. We have a guest. We have like some different microphones.
They're pretty badass.
So we are going to welcome said guest, Kelley James, musical phenom and golfing mad dog.
I'm just trying to keep up with Taylor, you know? I mean, the world just wants to live how T. Massey lives.
You're surpassing.
Live like Massey.
We can check Instagram and see what's going on with you. Obviously, living the dream.
The problem with Instagram, let's just address that. We all know you only post your good stuff. That's it. So I get to do some cool stuff.
Yours is real life.
But in reality, you know.
No, that's your reality.
Everyone's washing a few dishes.
No, that's your reality.
There's some nappies in there. We've seen some nappies.
Yeah, I just happen to do mine in Pebble Beach.
Right. Shout out Monterey Peninsula Country Club.
So the title of the podcast is This Week in Golf. It so happened to work out that the person who had the best week in golf, I'm going to say you had a better week in golf than DJ because him winning stuff is just like normal play. Let's start with your week from top to bottom.
It was good. It was really more of a run of, it was actually a really good week. I played in the member guest at Bel Air Country Club on Thursday and Friday, the little pro, and with a buddy of mine, Kai Sato. And then played LA Country Club on Saturday.
Buffy.
And then flew to Silo Ridge in upstate New York in Amenia. On Sunday night, there was a wonderful party.
If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's very secretive.
And then Monday, we played music on the 12th tee box all day long for the foursomes that came through, and I got to ruin some of my buddies that deserve to be messed with. And the whole goal is, can we make them hit a bad shot? The amateurs, it's easy. You know, you can get into them about what they're wearing. You can call out their little, grip situation. Anything to get in their head, they're going to hit a bad shot. But we try to get the tour players to hit a bad shot. And then flew to Napa from there for the Safeway Open Media Day on Tuesday. And
Which is what's that like? I mean, like Safeway the grocery store?
Safeway the grocery store. That tournament, I think, if they do it right, could be one of the best experiences on tour for the fan as well as the tour player. In that, Napa, California, you can't lose that time of year. It's during harvest up there. It's spectacular. Weather's off the charts. October, first tournament of the year. Not a lot of pressure on these guys, so they're willing to have a good time so they can go experience the wine culture. The whole tournament is based around food, music, wine, and golf.
But it's not when Bottle Rock. It's not when that festival is up.
No,
there,
Bottle
right?
Rock is Memorial Day weekend, but they try.
It's
the same talent buyers that book Bottle Rock. It's the same logistics companies. Like, it's the same thing. It's just a golf tournament.
And it's at that dope course.
I mean,
Isn't
Silverado.
That course really nice?
A lot of people, people have different opinions on that.
Haters.
Yeah, but it's Johnny Miller's spot. What are you gonna do? I think golf is golf. Everything's got their little quirks. Is it Pebble Beach? No, but
If Johnny Miller's got his hands on it, there has to be something controversial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the guy where it's like, if he's gonna have a course, people are gonna shit on it.
Yeah, and so we did that, and then I flew from Napa to Pebble Beach on Tuesday night. Played Monterey Peninsula Country Club Wednesday, and then flew home Wednesday evening. And now we're here.
And then the highlight of the week had to be
was nine holes with you guys at the Muni behind my house.
Playing high-low, new game, high-low.
New low. It's called Massey. That's what it's called.
Massey rules.
Yeah.
So tell us about the which pro we could throw off the game the most.
Well, everyone had a really great time. Maybe some cocktails were had, 1 or 14 by some. The guy got. And
I don't think people know what this is. Silo Ridge is an incredible private resort by Discovery.
Yeah.
Google them. And they're big into golf, and they have some great people that are their members. And this is the new place in New York, Silo Ridge. And Kelley was up there. You were up there playing music with the tour pros, and you were brought there to play music and entertain, correct?
Correct.
And now you're on the 12th hole, and they're coming through with their groups, their pro-am groups or whatever. Is that what it was?
Absolutely. The thing that, to reiterate what you said, this guy, Mike Meldman, a lot of people are familiar with Baker's Bay. He creates these unbelievable developments that are centered around golf courses. All of them are Fazio courses. They're spectacular. Not a dollar spared. It's there.
They're all Fazio?
Yep.
No way.
Every single one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I think El Dorado was a Nicklaus course that Fazio kind of redid, but Fazio has his hand in all of it.
Interesting.
And it's good for real estate. Fazio sells. Doke. Many people are gonna be like, who?
Right.
Golfers would love it, but you got to go Fazio.
How many properties do they have now? 20, 16?
I mean, I think it's in shifting in the teens somewhere.
And Mike Melvin was your bestie was an investor in Casamigos.
He was a third of Casamigos. They had a nice little exit there.
Oh, a third?
Yeah.
Shout out.
A third. Clooney, Gerber, Melvin. But so we're
That's
at Silo Ridge. We do this thing where we set the band up on a tee box. We get a bunch of little dirt on every foursome, and we go after them. So to answer your question, the easiest pro to throw off, and I love this guy so much, but it was just too easy. Justin Thomas came up and said, "Hey, you got to throw in," and I can't say her name even though I remember it because I don't want to stir anything up. You got to throw in this girl's name. It was an ex-girlfriend, really rough breakup. So we're getting up there. I'm doing the vibe. He gets in his backswing, and I just throw the name out. And he blocks this ball 40 yards to the right of the fairway, like one of the worst shots between pros and amateurs all day. He blasted it, but it was terrible. And shout out to Bud Colley and your ex-girlfriend. We won't throw the name out there, but it was Bud.
We saw it on Instagram, but I just wish there was a pro tracer on that one shot.
Yeah,
just to have the
it would be embarrassing. I got JT to step off. We got a good one with him, but.
So why were they up there? They're part of the.
Yeah, so it was every property that Melvin develops, he creates a foundation that supports the local community, and this was a golf tournament for the local community. Obviously, showcasing the property for sure. But all these guys were there. They had just played Northern Trust, and it was about 2-hour drive. Next one was in Boston, so it's super convenient. And it was Ricky, DJ, Spieth, JT, Bud Colley, Perez. The list goes on.
Perez seems to be having a good time, a good year after an injury, going to Europe. I hear.
Yeah, he, in my opinion, is one of the funniest, nicest dudes on tour. But he just, he shits on everyone. So when he's firing, which he is right now, there's nobody better. He's the best.
Right.
He's just the best vibe,
But the golf media gave him a little bit of he was not a troublemaker, but just not like they gave him I feel like a bad image. Like the average person, Pat Perez, yeah. But people that are inside know Pat Perez is the best.
The best.
Literally the best.
The best.
But is he one of the dudes
God,
that
I
would
hate the golf media.
Would he be one of the guys that feeds off that?
Oh, loves it.
Because some dudes will just do it because they literally play better when they're talking shit, or
Yeah.
when people are talking shit, they're like, you want what's
Absolutely.
this?
Pat Perez could care less about anything, and he's a trained killer. He'll go right after you. He'll walk into a room. I've seen him talk trash to Michael Jordan. I've seen, he'll just talk trash to anyone.
Some dudes that just like that what brings out their game.
Yeah,
Just talking shit,
That's
or
it.
like people talking shit about them.
totally.
Which they don't mind.
Some people like the villain role, like Taylor Massey. Look at just the villain. Look at that face. Oh my god, I can't even stand it.
He's such a
I'm
villain.
all
He
love.
invents games just to win.
I'm a 100%
I didn't.
love.
I wasn't keeping score of anything today. I was just trusting that you guys were saying I
No
lost
Oh,
the
it's
holes.
cool. You only owe 7,500. You're fine.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Venmo, hit us on the
Australian
Venmo.
though, Australian. 75 off.
So that's about 16 bucks.
Yeah, 17.95 in
$7.50.
3 easy payments.
Should I just give someone credit card details now, or is there like a monthly Venmo thing we
They
can
have
do?
credit cards in Australia.
They just got them. Hey, don't talk shit. We had like the chip thing for years.
You all actually did. That is
we
exactly
had the
right.
chip thing
Yeah.
for so long. There's so much stuff.
That's so typical. Taking 8 seconds of our lives at a time. So annoying.
And then, also flying home just because surgery's free.
Right. That's right.
But on the chip thing, it's like, how can we not? We have all technology that you could ever think of. It's all in development. It's all there. How are we inserting a chip and extending the time? How was that the invention? How do we not do it with the stripe? How does the stripe just not have the same security clearance that the chip does? It's absurd.
How about
They're
are you doing
blowing it.
the tap yet? The pay pass?
Yeah, I mean, we have that, but it's like,
It's like 3 stores in 100 have it. So you almost don't end up ever asking for it because you're like, well, no one's even got it.
Right.
Every single place in Oz, you just walk in, ding.
Every single person knows the chip sucks.
sucks.
So how can they not know it? The people at Visa. I don't know. Chime in.
Right.
Write us on the DM if you hate the chip.
Yeah,
Right. I
or
realize
when
it's
you
not
go
a chip.
somewhere and you're like preemptively, because when it first started, you'd swipe and you'd be like, please insert your chip. And you'd be like, all right. Now you insert the chip and the person's like, oh,
Please
we don't
slide
have
it.
chip.
Please slide it. Right.
And you're like, okay.
That's what I mean. There's just
what
so
are we
much
doing here?
confusion.
How come we just can't have retina scans?
It's coming. We'll all have chips in
Ah,
us.
Why not yet? We'll just fingerprint.
Right.
Terrible.
I love on your phone when you're buying something and you fingerprint and don't have to password. Because how many apps do you
Well,
have
it's
on
the
your phone?
best.
How many apps do you think you have on your phone? Over, under
50.
How many?
Right.
I want to know
So
how
many
many apps.
passwords, so many usernames.
I want to know how many apps you have that you use versus how many apps you have that Camden uses.
My son, he has his own little iPad. He probably rolls through about. He can navigate like 12 apps that he's super pumped on.
I legitimately think your child is better at math than me. I heard him in the accounting. I was setting
And
up.
Spanish. You can
No,
speak
yeah, and he
languages.
can speak 2 languages. I'm just going, It ain't, I mean, I'm glad I don't have a kid because right now I'd be like comparing my life to
Your
him.
kid would be in the trash can, like picking things out of the trash.
Yeah, I'd be like texting my wife right now, like, hey, we really need to step shit up. I mean, you can come over here and see it for yourself, but we aren't doing it right.
It is funny though. It's a constant comparison with parents and kids. You never stop, even when you don't want to. You're just like making sure your kid's like semi on track.
And now they have all the stats online that show my kid's in the 80th percentile or the 50th percentile or 20th, and every doctor and every teacher and every person gives it to you. It's so lame. The kids with the iPads are probably going to be in control of things really soon with virtual, augmented, whatever's coming. They're going to be so much smarter than us.
It is unbelievable to see how quickly they can grasp all that.
They have that coding program for kids. It's like a video game. It's like a video game mixed with Moana, and you like learn to code. Which means they're going to hack their parents' phones soon. Probably nude pics on Kelley's phone.
My thing was like when you were young, like you thought your parents were dumb. Like you legitimately were like, dude, they don't know anything. Like they don't even know how to put the time in on the VCR. Like they are so dumb. And then computers came out and you're like, oh, dude, I got this. You could get around anything, right?
Right.
And I always joked like, we think, our generation that like, dude, we get technology. Like we get it.
We get it.
Right? And I know. And I've said this before I had kids. I was like, my kid, I think I'm going to have all this stuff. I'm going to get the app and pay some guy $150 to monitor my kid's thing. And my kid's going to be in high school, 15 years old, with his buddies and being like, damn, I feel so sorry for my dad. He's spending like $3,000 a year on this security program. He's like, I rehacked our Wi-Fi and then recoded the camera so it looks like I'm home, but I'm actually at my buddy's house. Like my dad is so dumb, and I'm sitting there, at Bel Air Country Club, like going, ha ha, I know exactly where my family is. It's like, dude, there's no way our kids are gonna be able to code, reprogram everything we have. If we think we can stop them, like, oh, he can't go on these websites or do this, there's no way. They're going to know how to make the website. You don't know how to code.
Yeah.
You can barely use your phone. I feel like you had a flip phone until like 2 years ago, Taylor.
No, I've just been
You're like
suffering.
Tin Cup. Like I had a flip cup phone vibe.
I kind of wish. I'd like to go back to the Sidekick. That was a money phone where you flip it open and type. This iPhone thing, I can't. Everything I spell, I speak kind of in slang or without different words. I skip a lot of words, and it just keeps changing it over and over. If you don't look back and read your entire text, it will misspell a lot of stuff that means a lot of a lot of different ways.
I've got conversations with people where they know I spell stuff like wrong, so they read the wrong word as the right thing. Because you're so used to spelling shit so bad on the phone, like it doing the autocorrect.
Yeah.
Like people know.
Right, like
words
you're
now.
talking cricket, you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna hit a little bunt out
Yeah, it's
there,
like-
but it comes out cunt.
Yeah.
Gonna hit a little cunt out that.
It's like pig
Shout
Latin.
out to
It's like,
Paul Fisher,
It's
follow
like
the Fish
texting
TV.
pig Latin.
You're kidding.
So we need to back up. People don't know.
Real quick, have you heard the things that kids are doing to their parents?
No.
Like they'll change grocery. You know how you can like have your little short words? They'll change grocery in the phone to go fuck yourself.
No.
So I'm going to the parent will be like trying to text like or like yes will be go fuck yourself. So like, I'm going to the go fuck yourself store. What?
Have you ever seen it's like, and so she texts it to her husband, and the husband's like, what is going on? Yeah, I've seen those texts where they're like have the conversations that go totally it's usually parent to daughter.
Yeah.
Like, honey, I'm going to F your dad, and that's horrible. We should learn all this stuff. We just need someone to teach us. Camden's coming on the show.
With our kids though, he'll recode the phone. Like what we
Right.
would do is like a little shortcut. There's no way my parents could figure out the shortcut, but my son will literally recode whatever app is the autocorrect app, and I'll have no
Right.
chance.
And if he doesn't know, he'll just get on and like type or chat to somebody in Russia who's a hacker or China or India.
why's it got to be Russia?
make friends?
Yeah. What do you say?
Make friends with them, Indians, whoever it is, and just be like, hey, buddy, can you do this? I mean, everything is findable possible on the internet, 100%.
Your kid, he'll have like a coder on the payroll at some. You know what I mean? Like he'll just be like, no, that's my code. That's my guy.
For
like,
sure.
how you doing all this, man? You'd be like 12 years old.
Remember how we had like drug dealers, like shady guys in high school, where you're like,
know
oh
who it
yeah,
is.
you know, the
You
drug
know
dealer.
who it
He's gonna be
is.
like, yo, my coder, son.
Yeah.
You throw this dude $20, he can get you out of anything.
Right.
All those dick pics gone.
We used to.
Right.
We used
Who
to be
is
scared
Tiger
of bullies.
calling?
We used to be scared of bullies, and now, yeah, you'll be scared
Get
of the
the
smart
nerds.
kids.
The hackers will hack your stuff and send stuff to your parents, just like that. Boom.
Totally.
Dude, that dude's wearing North Face.
Bunch him.
Watch out for that guy, man. He's wearing a North Face bucket hat. I don't want to fuck with him at all.
Is that what like Australian
what
coders wear?
Is that what?
No,
was
just
just
like
gonna
that's just
say
like a
that.
hip. That's just like a hipster thing.
I
Like,
was just
a
gonna
hipster
say
bucket hat, and you're just in there.
It's
what-
more of a grungy thing, I think, in San Francisco.
Yeah, we don't have the bucket hat thing doesn't.
We just got computers, so I mean, we got the inner what?
But you got like the hat you were wearing today for golf is like a very Australian hat because of your slap slop slip thing or whatever.
Yeah, slip slop slap.
Slip
Oh, you
slop
know-
slap.
Yeah, you know
Dude,
that,
I'm in.
right?
I'm in on your culture.
Yeah, you know that.
I know you guys.
The slip-
I'm down with those UV rays out there.
Well, it's apparently hotter. Like they say that it's hotter or not hotter, but there's a
No, the
hole in
ozone
layer.
absolutely has been damaged. They've proven that for sure. But I'm saying that hat that all the kids wear at school, for those of you that aren't up on the educational system on the elementary level in Australia,
Lot of
they have
beanies.
this, what is it, slip, slop, slap?
Yeah, and then
Slip, slop, slap. So it means slip on a hat,
no,
slap on
no,
sunscreen?
No, yeah, slap on a hat.
To protect yourself from the
Slip,
sun?
slap- Yeah, look, it's
Yeah.
been a
Kidding
while.
me.
But
You're
all
kidding me.
the kids, you know the hat he was wearing today in golf,
Yeah,
the big
yeah,
floppy one?
Yeah.
All the kids wear those for recess, mandatory. And they have to put on like crazy
No way.
SPF 70.
No way.
So that's why that hat, when I saw you have it, I was like, oh, it's super
That's kinda
super
smart.
Australian.
Bam! This
I
is
just-
the first young Jeremy call.
I just got
I've
one of those
it.
hats, by the way.
The
Is
health
there,
campaign.
wait, we need a jingle for young Jeremy, you know? It's like da 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 da.
Young Jeremy.
Hey! Copyright it.
So we've been very, very excited to do an in studio in America because it means I could have young Jeremy, could have Taylor and a guest. This is the dream. Episode 3. It's just all coming together. It's all
This is it.
in episode 3. Here we go. Young Jeremy's first call. The health campaign was extended in later years by SunSmart. Yeah, I feel like that's a government thing. Slip on a shirt, slop on 30 plus, and slap on a hat. Seek shade or shelter, and slide on some sunnies.
Or you'll turn Aboriginal.
Yeah. Oh, damn, we're going there.
No,
Doesn't
we're
have to be
all-
bad.
we're all-
Aboriginal's cool as hell.
Yeah, we're all homies.
They're smoking peyote and hanging with kangaroos and doing other great stuff.
There was a didgeridoo in Guitar Center last night, so I had to bust out a little tune.
That's
There you
cool.
go.
My
Yeah,
brother
if
has
you ever need a
didgeridoo.
didge player, just
That would be
Who
kinda
doesn't need a
sick.
didge player?
Do you know what would be sick for the President's Cup for the crazy Aussies? What are they called? The Aussie Crazies? Have you ever seen that group of the fans? The Aussie Crazies that have been to every President's Cup? Have you seen this?
I thought
think-
all
I think I'm
Aussies
in.
were
It's
crazy.
a group of. That's criminal. There's 10 of them that dress up to the nines that have been there since the first President's Cup. Started with 5 guys painting their faces. Now it's like 20. Now it's 30 deep that come to every President's Cup. You should do a sick jingle for them about slip, slap, slop.
I like that. Well, hopefully.
oh, here we go. Young Jamie. Damn, where have you been all these episodes?
Wait, we got to get the jingle.
Here they are.
Da, 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 da.
Young Jeremy.
I see in this photo. Oh, there's Jason David. The rest are Asian. What's that about? Oh no, there's Adam Scott. Yeah, he's
He's
Aussie.
just tan. He's in Albany tanning.
Yeah, the Aussie Fanatics. Yeah, they got
What
like
is
the
Adam
Fanatics.
Scott
and the,
doing?
You got to show the screen. Show the camera. Can we flip it on there?
I'll put it up. I'll pull it
What
up.
is
We'll
Adam
do some
Scott doing?
editing magic.
Show the kids.
I told you about the other day. I was playing out at Sanctuary Cove, and there was a dude that I was like getting lunch before my round. This guy's like, oh, and I hit like it's like 332, and I had like 86 yards in, and I was like, oh shit. Looked over my shoulder, and it was Adam Scott, and I was like, fuck, you're an
Nuh-uh.
idiot. Like, what are you doing?
Nuh-uh.
I don't know if you heard me,
He's a 6C.
but it turns out he probably did hit it 330.
Yeah.
So we need to backtrack.
Good
so
dude.
what you're doing on the tee on the 12th is you come up with these crazy freestyles.
Yeah.
So
Check
the
out
first,
Kelley James on YouTube. Shout out.
Yeah, we might pause this and then put on a freestyle just so people like get a grip of what we're dealing with here.
Of who
Yeah.
you are.
Because the last year at Phoenix Open at the W was the first time, and I'd seen your stuff from like Y Golf, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I went there and I was like, get out of town. Like it just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. And I was talking to a chick and I was like, whoa, I'm just gonna have to I'm just gonna have.
Gotta see this.
Am I the only one that's hearing this shit? I'm like, you just gotta stop talking right now. And I left leaving that like super impressed.
Have you always been able to do that since you were in high school or younger?
I always made up songs. So like again, all my friends we all played sports. Nobody played music. I was the only guy that played guitar, and it was like this side thing. So it was really just like 16 years old at a party.
So you were like Eminem of Monterey country school, Monterey school system.
It literally was. It wasn't even rap. Like it's crazy because I grew up, 90s in California. So I'm playing guitar. I'm listening to Dave Matthews, and then at the exact same moment listening to Tupac. Well, what are you gonna do if those are the two things you're listening to all day?
Sash Sublime.
Yeah, if you're listening to Sublime and then Biggie. I mean, what are you gonna? How's the music gonna come out of you?
Incredible.
And so to me, it started like just kind of making up words, and we weren't even like a rap crew. Like we weren't sitting there in ciphers like rapping. Like that wasn't a thing. I just played guitar and would make up these songs, and it was really to try to get a chick or something.
Yeah, like the party favor kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it was like it wasn't about anything other than having fun at a party. And when I started playing shows, as things progressed, I would just make things up. As it went.
So
And
it's been working forever.
Yeah, and it was like a defense mechanism at the beginning. Like you don't think it's a thing. I'm not trying to be freestyle rapper. I'm trying to be Dave Matthews. So Dave Matthews doesn't rap, but if something would go wrong on stage or something crazy would happen, I would just go into a rap out of like, oh god.
And that's the thing that I took away from it because I was like, you could see you weren't trying to be any style or anything. It wasn't like you were trying to have.
And people go like, oh man, like you're a rapper. I'm like, I'm not a rapper. I just rhyme words. That's it. I am not, by no means am I a rapper. I don't want to put one foot into that arena.
Of course.
And it was
because the dudes that can spit bars on bars on bars on bars and write like that, I'm not that. I just rhyme words that center around topics that usually don't get addressed in the hip hop world. Could be the bond markets in Europe and Augusta National. Like, no one's really going there. So I just rhyme words about that.
That's a fully untapped market.
It's
so untapped.
But I'm just saying it's Silo Ridge and, the Grand Cru that was being poured like, 1982 First Growth Bordeaux. Well, who's rapping about that? I'll rhyme some words about it.
Right.
Nobody's rapping about, Dustin Johnson's power fade. I mean, elbow out. Like, I mean, it's just not.
And I think that the big thing about it is that people are sort of shouting out. You're like, give me a word, give me a word, give me a word. And the thing that I thought was the best is that people were like obviously trying to fuck with you by giving you like some ridiculous word.
All the time.
And that's sort of the thing. And I think that's what leaves people the most impressed with it. Or even with me, I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to rap that with, like following.
Well, it's like the European bond market. That doesn't seem easy to rap about.
But you never know. I mean, I do so many different kinds of shows. I probably played about 1,500 shows, somewhere in that zone. Like we talked about earlier. I used to play 170 shows a year, and you get everything. You get the people that are trying to mess with you, or you get put into situations where, I played a handful of shows for Charles Schwab. It's like, so you're going to play, you have to talk about certain things.
Right.
I'm playing in 2 weeks in Chicago for McKinsey & Co., big consulting firm. It's like Bain and McKinsey & Co. I mean, what do you expect is going to come out, or what do I have to dress on stage? Like, and so my thing would just be like, I sing and I rhyme about topics that don't get addressed for the most part in the hip hop world. If you were going to generalize, but by no means am I a rapper.
And what was the tie into golf with that?
It's actually crazy. I was doing a ton of events for Oakley and our boy Young Jeremy over there at Red Bull.
Young Jeremy.
All action sports. Shout out to Hammer. And it was all focused around skate, surf, snow. I mean, that whole vein. Moto, that vein. I'm playing some party. I forget where it was. But I play this party for Oakley. I'm standing on stage. All I knew from Oakley, all I knew from Red Bull, all I knew from Vans, Honda, all these companies was their action sports side of their marketing. And this guy walks in and he has like blonde hair coming out of this black Titleist hat, and he has like Pro V1 on one side and then some sponsor on the other side. And I'm like, who is this guy? Like, who do you where'd you get that hat? You bought it on eBay? Like,
you're on stage singing this?
Oh, totally. Because I'm always looking for somebody to rip on.
Yeah.
Get out of it. And it just struck me as so funny because it was like some snowboarder who like stole some dude's PGA Tour hat. Like it was an official PGA Tour hat. And I just remember like ripping on him, and he comes up after and he's like, "Oh my god, da 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 da." I had no idea who he was. I'm like, "So you snowboard?" He's like, "No, I'm on the PGA Tour. My name's Charlie Hoffman." I was like, "Oh,
no
okay,
way.
cool." And he's like, "You got to come to my event in two weeks." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't know. And we get there, and it's like this very, very, very kind of uptight golf event.
The Monday night of Torrey Pines.
Monday night of Torrey Pines, and it was up at this guy Stacy Smith's house, great dude from Dallas, and it's a real charity event. They raise real dollars to help junior golf in San Diego. And, you know, I'm sitting there and it's like, oh, God, I don't know if I'm going to fit into this thing. And, you know, he kind of is like, no, it'll be good. It'll be good. It gets good later. It gets good later. I'm like, all right, you know, let's see. I don't know what this means. So, you know.
What year is this about?
I mean, I remember
2010.
Fowler was a rookie. He wasn't even on tour. I think I was early on.
Gotcha.
And it was probably a year before that when I did the first one. Anyway, so all the young guys are there. You know, when Ricky Barnes, like all the, you know, that whole crew that kind of came up together. And so it kind of transitions from the live auction portion, and we're about to go on, and I'm like, this isn't gonna work. Like, these guys are wearing sport coats. Like, my thing isn't gonna work. All I know is how to play action sport shows and fraternity parties. You know, that's all I know how. I don't know how to do anything else. And the whole room changes in like 40 minutes, and 2 buses of girls from downtown San Diego come in one door, and the sport coats leave the other door, and it was bananas. It was so much fun, and I remember being like, this is golf. But I met all the young guys at that time that liked to have 1 or 14 cocktails.
Perez, Hoffman,
DJ, Barnes, you name them, they were all there. And they would all come to support Charlie. So that was the intro into golf.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't know anything about the market. I didn't know anything about the tour. Nothing along those lines.
Had you had any golf like playing experience?
I didn't play golf like on golf teams or anything. I've never played in a tournament in my life.
But it was something you were into as a game.
My parents played.
Yeah.
But again, I played football, basketball, baseball. That's what me and my friends did. I tried hard in school and played a little guitar. Like, there was nothing about golf that was in there. Again,
but now you know golf is the best.
Oh, unequivocally. I mean, and the more that the more that I think the world gets educated on golf, as a quick little sidebar, the piece, and I know that anybody listening to this is a golf fan. This is how you describe golf to a non-golfer. This is the piece that will click and open up all the little sectors in people's heads. You have to explain the handicap system.
Yeah.
That is the key to any non-golfer that will explain why golf is so insane. And this is the piece. If I talk to a non-golfer or somebody's like, I don't care. I'm like, totally cool. I still hate golf most of the time. I don't even play golf to play golf. I play it to hang out with my friends, and like I get to do all these cool things.
Right.
I'm in all these positions to hang. Yeah, a little bit of everything. This is the piece, though. I go to a non-golfer, and I go, obviously it makes it easy if there's a golf course around. If there's not, I go like this. Point 100 yards away. Point to something. And I go, if I gave you a club and this little white ball, and I put a hole 100 yards away, how many shots do you think it would take you to get it in that hole? And they're like, well, I don't know. I don't play golf. How many shots? You have a little ball and a stick.
Right.
15 shots?
Right.
20 shots? And they go, well, yeah, 15 shots. Okay, cool. That means that each little push is more or less 7 yards. Okay?
Right.
So you can hit this 7 yards. Right. So you get 15 shots. This is the game. I should get that in 3 shots, maybe 2. 3 shots.
I bet you.
So I go like this. If I get it in 3 shots and you get it in 20 shots, we tie. You get it in 19 shots, I get it in 3, you win.
Right.
You want to bet 1,000 a hole? Well, I could play that game.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody gets it. And I go, that's why I could play Dustin Johnson head up today if the handicaps are set right and have the confidence that I could bet 1,000 a hole, 10,000 a hole. Because it's fair.
Right.
There's no other game on the planet
Right.
that is that fair. And that you can play with anyone in any different situation. The social aspect, obviously you can throw in all those things. But the piece that convinces non-golf fans is the handicap system. So if you're out there and you want to talk golf and people go, why do you play golf, blah, 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 the piece that you need to describe is the handicap system. That's the trouble.
Because let's be real. If LeBron James knocks on the front door and says, "Sup, homie, you want to play a little one-on-one?"
It's impossible.
What's the way? What's the handicap? How do you make that happen?
Every other game is impossible. It's all impossible.
Baseball, A-Rod.
Every other sport.
Like, we can't go toe-to-toe.
Every other sport is impossible.
Why do the PGA Tour and USGA and all these people have so much trouble getting to grow the game? Why is it such a thing? Every single day, grow the game, which I totally understand. Every sport, every corporation, every brand wants to grow their brand, grow their corporation, grow whatever they're selling.
Right.
And the PGA selling golf, which we know is amazing, and once people get older and you explain it to them that way, they love it.
Because all it is it's just a game. But there is no other game that is that equal. You can't play Monopoly
You can't play ping pong and have.
There's literally no other game that has the handicapping system. Think about it. So it doesn't matter how good you are. just as long as the handicaps are set
if
right.
it's right, you
But
finish
again,
even.
if I play you in gin, or I play you in Monopoly, or I
Or
play you
poker,
in chess, there's no handicapping
right,
for chess.
Right. And that's why I feel like, the people that don't want to play, it's their egos being pissed they can't play it amazing. Instead of like the gamblers in Vegas and poker, like the old poker players. I don't know if anyone knows any poker players. Doyle Brunson, he sucks at golf. He uses a crutch on the course to walk to the green, but he is allowed to tee it up everywhere. And he gets his handicap strokes, and he plays other dudes that are good for so much money.
Totally.
It's a game.
But the piece, when you talk about growing golf, the piece that they do not talk about is the fact that technically my 3-year-old son and I can go play head-to-head for 1,000 a hole at Marriott. He just might get 100 shots a hole. I get 3.
Right.
It's actually fair if the handicaps are set right. Now, again, let's put it more into reality. But even if you've never played golf before, you're just starting out, as long as the handicaps are set right, is the only game in the world that anyone can play together.
I think it sounds what's the most fun thing about it is that what you said, even if you get 15 strokes on that and you get the 3 strokes, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad, to always have a shot at playing one better than what you were supposed to do or whatever. It's like you just have that one
you only have to hit the one shot.
It's just 14. If you make it in 14 and I make it in 3, you win.
And then there's another hole. There's
And
another hole.
that's tempting because like there's no other sport where like I'm gonna give you 30 strikes. I'm gonna pitch to you my 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
What are you talking about? Cricket?
I'm going baseball. I'm trying to keep it.
Aussie rules football. Aussie rules.
Oh no! See, I don't even want to go there. That game sucks. I'm all about rugby.
Seven's rugby.
Yeah, let's go. Let's keep it rugby.
But yeah, there's no other handicap. You give them a bunch of strikes, a bunch of balls, but yeah, you can never hit.
Yeah, you can't get like the leading baseball pitcher to go like, all right, well, we'll try and make this fair. I'm gonna pitch my 93 mile an hour.
Name one baseball pitcher.
Babe Ruth.
Winner. Taylor couldn't even help himself. You heard that? Kirsch.
I'd watch one.
I was gonna help him.
I watched one baseball game with an ex-girlfriend and her sister, and it was the most punishing hours.
You did it
I've
wrong
ever,
already.
Yeah, I was like,
haven't you heard Saturdays are for the boys in baseball?
Right.
Yeah, she was like, let's get an Angels game. I'm like,
what's a 5-day cricket test like?
That's the shit.
They eat their little pies. You guys have your little.
What do you mean? What's this
your little
fork
pie.
motion?
They're
That's like
this.
hands. Like
They're
that. It's
this.
like an Australian hamburger. Yeah, it's just
you get
straight
your
in.
little pies.
You don't do no fork action on a
Little
pie if you're doing it right.
Even some people in Australia know that golf is the best.
I would just
You're one of them.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're backing you.
But you're right with the handicap.
Right. And so that's why you love golf, and now you're deep in golf, and you're meeting these guys, and your game is, up and down.
Mhm.
Everyone go to YouTube and Google Kelley James' swing, because I'm going to post a picture, and tell us how you feel about it. Tell us about the rhythm, the club
rate my
face,
swing.
the stance, and stuff like that, because he claims he's like a 20 handicap and can't break 100, but...
Yeah, let's
very, very
let's
good.
break down KJ swing. I didn't see
Very,
too much
very,
wrong
very
with it.
good.
Where was he not scoring today?
Well, I think we all know where it is, and through the history of time with golf, it's in between the ears.
Because the
It's
swing's
not-
there. The swing's there.
If Jim Furyk can hit the golf ball more than twice in a row with that swing, it's all in your head, much less shoot 58, 59, and win 50 times on tour.
What do you got against Furyk?
If Jim Furyk, nothing.
Every
all
podcast,
praise.
every
It's all praise.
podcast.
Also, look at Corey Pavin. Shout out Corey Pavin if you're listening. SoCal, what up? But you're nasty, and you're only like 5'5", and you don't even hit the ball very far, but you play all these different spins, and you never give up. That's why they call you the Bulldog. You went to UCLA, you won Ryder Cups, and you won the U.S. Open at Shinnecock on the last hole with a 4-wood. We love you.
Dear Corey.
Can we
Dear Corey, your
please-
mustache is awesome.
I need to get something off my chest, and I've been wanting to on the last podcast, but I forgot about it. If one more golf announcer says JT weighs 145 pounds, I'm going to hunt them down.
And
It's
hits it
done.
farther than everything else.
It's
right.
over.
Say something else. Learn something about JT, Nick Faldo,
He
and all you
doesn't
guys.
weigh 145.
What do you think he's weighing? 160?
I mean, it's going to be like, it's not like it's a big difference, but he weighs over 150.
No, Jace, I think he weighs about
He
150.
can't, like,
I mean,
chicks weigh
JT,
145.
can you call
I
in and
would-
give us our...
He weighs more than
I would
140.
say
Does he
this.
weigh,
Give
does
us
he
your
ma-
weight.
weigh more than
If it
145?
wasn't this time on the
Kelley,
East Coast,
can you text him?
Let's just text him anyway. I
No,
want to know
we-
how
we-
much he weighs.
It's only 10:15. He's checking Instagram right now. He's probably just looking at TV, watching football.
But there was
Text him,
just-
how much do you weigh?
there was so many times in that, like, it honestly took me out of an epic major winning performance, and it was like they had a drinking game going on with themselves in the booth, where it was like, hey, every time we say JT weighs 145. We all got to mute the mics and take a shot. Because it was
they don't know.
Oh.
They've been on for so long, they don't even. I hate to say this. I really feel bad saying this. I know you're not going to hear it, but they just don't care anymore.
It's not that they don't care. It's
They're
fact,
old.
No, it's the fact that if you think about their jobs, it's so long, and it's every week, and they're
That's
on
the
air
saddest
for
thing I've
so
ever heard.
long, and it's every day, 4 days. It's so long. By the time they get to the end, like they have to fill so much space. You know how hard it is to fill space? You know how hard it is to make it exciting? What else are you supposed to say? And JT went to Alabama. Boy, I love Tuscaloosa in the fall. Like, I mean, what are you going to say?
You just look at his just look at his social the last week.
And then I would also say, like, hey, like, if you can't analyze, like, a swing very well, like, what are you going to say?
You need the best of both worlds, like soccer
But
commentators.
here's the thing, right? We've got
soccer
pro
commentators.
tracers on the fairway. Technology's crazy. Konica Minolta swing biz. We've got all the shit. We've got it all. Technology. We've got blimps that can track balls. That side of the broadcasting has progressed so far and then the announcement stuff is literally the exact same. If you watch, like, I can't even watch the European tour. There's great dudes that
Peter
play.
Atlas, right. That's a
It's
whole
so
different thing.
bad.
They say quiet. They're quietly and demure, but yet kind of funny. Peter Atlas, there's no for that. It's a humor. It's an English Scottish humor. But what about the soccer announcers that did that one event? Did anyone see that?
No, I haven't seen
I think it was the Mexican soccer players in New York and Mexico City that did the WGC on that sick ass course. It was kind of like a bit like Valderrama, but Mexico City. And they were watching the chipping green on Tuesday. They were literally at the chipping green, and Martin Keimer was out there chipping. And there's, oh, mate, Martin Keimer here working on his 52 degree. Look, he's bending it down. He's going to toe it a little bit. Oh, my God, it's going into the hole. Go! On the chipping on the practice green. It was epic.
There's definitely, like, I mean, I don't want people to go over the top and start yelling and doing it.
But I think the best, and I just enjoy him as a human being and as well as an announcer, is McCord.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He rolls it. It's always on. It's always looking for a little niche. He never gets lazy and stays in the same lane. Because he could just, hit singles all day. He swings for the fence with every single line that comes out of his mouth.
Fun.
That's what golf needs. The other piece that I think, and I had this in my head, and young Jeremy, you need to work on this at Red Bull. Why? And I get the reasons why, but I'm going to just throw out a concept that I think should be involved with every single sportscast that exists. I should be able to turn on my TV and watch the Masters and have you two commentate. And that's the feed I want.
Well, we're actually doing.
I should have young Jeremy over there legitimately. If he wants to talk about MotoGP, I'd rather have him talk about MotoGP. He could be like, I was with Valentino 3 nights ago. We were in Austin, and Valentino was talking about. I want that. Like, I want those dudes that I listen to that can relate to me broadcasting sports.
And if you want to listen to an Australian, personally, I like Scottish people and semi like Australians.
Whoa.
So if you could listen to the other broadcasts of the funny guys, the Scottish guys, or the
absolutely, but you should be able to choose 100 different people.
I would rather listen to the Espanol broadcast of a European Tour event. Right. And I speak exactly this much Spanish.
Right.
I mean, but again, we should be able to listen to Adam Carolla doing an NFL game.
Yes.
Or literally, we should just be able to listen to our funny friends that we enjoy.
Right. At home. You should be able to share. Right. You should have a be a video
KJ,
blog.
If you're not going to be at the President's Cup, you're going to be able to tune in to live tour companions.
Yes. Check out.
Yeah. I think we're gonna figure it out, but I think we're gonna run like live on the back nine with all of us. We're gonna basically put on the TV, turn the commentary off, and we're going to just talk over the top of the TV.
Until they sue us.
Yeah, I don't think you can license the...
No, but see, people at home can tune in their own TV.
Yeah.
So my thing... our stream.
Yeah.
But you're right. But that would be... Like, if we could figure out a way for the PGA Tour to be like, hey, let's have a channel. Let's have our own web
Let's
thing.
get a hacker to reroute all the signals.
Can we get Camden on it now? Because it's like 3 weeks to the President's Cup. I know he's 3, but I mean...
And they'll never be able to find where we're at. And we'll continue.
Because you'll be on a boat in the Hudson.
It's like radio. It's like that Lost Radio movie. What was that called? Pirate Radio. Yeah,
for sure.
Be like that.
100%. Yeah. And I'm saying, again, everybody's got cool
That's
sound
been the
systems.
That's been the
These
dream.
TVs that are on the wall here are really just computers. They're not actually TVs. Like, they're just taking signal in. they're not broadcasting anything.
Can we get young Jeremy to check where the international waters line is for like if where our boats park?
Sail out.
We just park in international
We'll be in
waters.
Bermuda, just broadcasting from Bermuda.
But you should be able to get an audio feed in
100%.
and watch the Masters. And I want to hear. I would want to hear Joe Buck do the Masters with Gary McCord. That's what I want to hear because McCord can't be there. We all know that, and I love Joe Buck.
You said us first.
Well,
So Joe Buck has a job. You said us first.
I've changed my mind.
So would you like to see us?
You got-
now
you-
I'm
you-
confused.
no, no,
so
no,
you don't
no,
want to
You
watch
do
the
see
All right,
Joe
you're
Buck
right,
on
you're
the
right, you're right.
USGA.
Okay.
You see Joe Buck.
Let me rephrase that. I want you
I know
guys to
more-
commentate the chipping green before, and then I want Joe Buck and McCord
I
to do the whole.
know more
tournament.
about golf than Joe Buck. Sorry, Joe.
And you guys can be as crude as you want. You can say whatever you want. Do whatever
Yeah,
you want.
tell stories.
That's called No Sponsor Life, and it's so far so good. 3 episodes in, no sponsors. We can do what we want.
We got a couple calls, but we didn't answer them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we said there I can go to voicemail.
Yeah. You're birds of condor, aren't you? Or are you golf gods?
No, that's just like a homies thing. I'm wearing the hat backwards right now.
Yeah.
No branded T-shirt. Like
No
we're
bra.
making a statement. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm
You're
wearing
wearing the
Berkman's. I'm wearing Berkman's sponsorship. That would be sick.
So this week,
Broadcasting for Berkman's with Condoleezza Rice. Shit. Just kidding. Although Condoleezza Rice seems pretty cool, and she's a member of Augusta.
Yeah.
And her and the lady from AT&T, they let 2 ladies in.
Yeah.
That's very huge. And now they have a new director. His name's Fred Ridley, and he's an amateur champion, U.S. amateur champion,
have you played there?
and a businessman.
I have not played there. The one thing that impresses me most about Augusta, on all the predictable things, is that dude, and I don't know his name. That's the marker.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
played?
The
Who beat
first-
Rory that one year? Who played with
Oh
Jason Day
my
this last year?
God.
Oh
He is
yeah.
That dude is so gangster.
He's so nasty.
I don't know his name. I know everyone knows him. Young Jeremy. If you have,
young Jeremy. He's played in the he played this year too.
what is it? Jeff Knox.
Jeff
That
Knox.
sounds right.
Yeah. Yep,
Shout
yep,
out
yep.
to Jeff Knox.
Jeff
Shout
Knox.
out to young Jeremy.
Young Jeremy. Can you find Jeff Knox?
How is there
on
not
Facebook?
a 30 for 30 on Jeff Knox?
Oh my God, it's a genius idea.
And this is the thing. Jeff Knox is either the biggest dick ever or he's the nicest guy ever. There's just he's on one end of the spectrum because you're a trained killer.
But either way, I want to drink a beer with him.
Yeah.
How does he know how to play so well? I want to know exactly what he's thinking when he's
Dude.
out on the first tee, second hole.
Have you watched him mark for any of those guys live?
I've seen a couple of his shots, probably not live, but I've seen a couple
So
of
I
shots.
followed him for like a decent time
yeah.
with Rory and with Jason Day.
Yeah.
This last year with Jason Day.
He's
There's no one else out on the course. So anybody that gets there early is stacking on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth hole. And like you are hitting real shots at real times with like tremendous pressure. And he
Right.
nails it.
right.
And he
right,
plays
with
that
tremendous
like
pressure.
there's no he doesn't take it easy. He's not like picking up balls. He's sitting there marking 4-foot putts, like really dialing them in, making sure that he knows that
I
you
mean,
know.
you've
So
played
you-
100. You played
his score
100 rounds.
matters.
He's played 100 rounds there, probably 500 rounds. I don't know, but it still doesn't matter. When it's tournament time, the greens are 3 steps faster. They're 15s, 14s, 13s and a half, or whatever. Yeah.
And
you're
the
playing with
people, the
Rory,
people.
and the people looking at you, judging you.
And the tee boxes and all the stuff that
Yeah.
you don't play normally when you're.
So
you know,
young Jeremy's just come through with another banger, and said that Augusta
he have
does not
Jeff Knox
let
on
him
FaceTime?
do media. So I don't know whether he's been like talking to Jeff Knox right now in this exact like moment, but yeah, he just said they don't let him do media because I don't know. That's lame. I really want to know. I want to
Yeah.
see that. I want to see
30
that.
for
the
30.
30
He would
for
probably
sure.
lose his membership if he did anything.
the
that
golf channel
involved
should just
media.
do 30 at 30s every week, every month.
The thing
they
that's
don't.
crazy to me is what's the fastest growing sport? And like my mum is now a fan of people slicing foreheads open with elbows.
MMA,
Like
MMA?
who the
UFC.
fuck saw that coming?
Right, I know.
Like who saw that like a
It all came from the movie Bloodsport, the best movie ever.
But UFC does such an incredible job of promote. Like they don't sell fights, and this is what when we were talking before about like you mentioned the handicap system. That's not something I've really thought about. But what I think that golf doesn't do right now, they try to sell the events and they try to sell the tour. They don't sell golf or golfers. So you need to. That's what UFC did.
The inside of the
UFC didn't.
PGA Tour shows it a little bit. The weekly show, the inside of the PGA Tour shows it a little bit. It's been the same format for 20 years since I've been watching. And it goes behind and it's all kind of set up and it has a nice little thing, the dog and the family and the kid. But it does not tell a story about the hard times, how they got there, what it took, the blood, sweat, the tears. And that's just from the top down horrible PGA Tour.
But I think that, you know, you look at the company that's doing it the best, like we've got golf. Golf's a good sport. There's, it's all American. You get really great stories come through. We've got war vets that are still playing on the actual PGA tour right now. Like UFC. So there was a dude called Brian Stan, and he was a Marine, and he was in the light heavyweight. He was he came back and he was a Navy SEAL. The UFC just made such a hero out of this dude, and we've got a guy that's playing on the PGA tour that was in the Navy. And it's like you kind of hear about it, but it's like, where's these stories? Where's the...
Right. I read a story today. I was on Southwest Airlines from Reno to California. Shout out to Southwest Airlines and Reno, the El Dorado Casino and Hotel. Thank you so much for that run of 21s.
Great place.
Anyway, and to the Link Soul 2-man championship, the best thing ever. But anyway, flying home today, in the magazine on the front page, they had a golf story you've never heard. And I looked at it like, who is that? It's a bald dude. And it's Larry Nelson, who is nasty. And he's from Georgia. And he's 59 years old, 60 years old, maybe 70. And he has won 3 majors. And he didn't start golf till he was 21. Wow. And I knew a little bit of his story, but this article was actually very good. And he was in Vietnam. And he had a crew of 9 that was like an early special operations. And he didn't lose a man. And he had certain qualities or whatever. Came back. Going through some PTSD, went to the golf course one afternoon after working all day and hit some golf balls at 21 years old and fell in love with it. And within a year, he shot under par. Within a year, he qualified for his first pro tour event or whatever. And he shot like 80 or whatever. It was very embarrassing. And he kind of just learned from his mistakes. But he had a quality that was like, I just don't give a fuck. I've seen people die. He don't care about a 4-footer. And he found this swing, and he ended up winning 3 majors in the era of Jack, Johnny, all these Lee, all this Seve, all these people, and he's in the World Golf Hall of Fame, and no one knows about him.
Yeah,
no one knows about him. There's never been a thing on him, and he lived through the gnarliest stuff ever. And he's just a great, great man. The guy on the first tee last week of the major didn't even know his name or something. It was like,
and I think that there's such a focus, and obviously it's a legitimate focus on the Rory, the DJ, but it's like, let's go deep. Like, there's dudes that can win on the PGA Tour. If you look at like power rankings or whatever. Like, just keep going down. Like, any of those dudes can win.
It's unlimited stories, and
no one's really going for it.
It's today, and all the past guys. There's thousands of guys that have come through the tour. Everyone has a different story. Yeah, it's the golf. This is horrible. I keep saying it. The golf media and how they spin things. It's just like the stories. It's just like the angles they come out with. Like it's just like the golf media wants to jump on everybody.
Yeah, and
whatever they're doing wrong. Like Ernie Els. Ernie Els 7-putted the Masters on the first hole. You see that video everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. All these, even Brandel Chamblees, all the way down to, I don't know who Alan Shutnick is, but I don't know if these guys play golf. Sometimes that happens. Anyway, he went on and almost made the cut. And then the next week, he was number 1 in putting. You don't see the golf meeting running to Ernie and saying, wow, how did you become number 1 in putting the week after you screwed up so badly on worldwide TV? Yeah. Just like they don't tell the stories of these great guys.
When Tiger keeps giving you dick pics, it's just fucking easy. Easy work, son. Easy work.
Right.
But I mean, and I guess that's really, like, realistically, that's what it is. It's like, hey, so should we Instagram about this war vet that's about us, or should we just run with the dick pic?
Right.
Yeah, let's just go with the dick pic.
Right.
So at some point, we gotta go. You know what I mean?
I just wish they were positive. It'd be great if we just ran the whole broadcast. Like, you came and sung a song, a nice song. You roast people. Have you ever done a roast of somebody?
Not really.
But you roast every time you're there, every time you're on the mic.
Yeah, we did that Travis Pastrana thing.
Right.
For the boys at Red Bull back in the day.
Right.
But other than that, not really.
Right. But you roast people on the reg, just on your normal thing, right?
I feel super safe because I just don't think there's like a possibility you could roast my swing. I'm like, come at me. You know what I mean? Yeah, like what could you say?
You didn't hit one bad shot.
Or you're like Eminem where you just don't care. You call out your own.
I got so bored with puring shots today that on the 8th hole, I decided to hit a palm tree and try and dunk it from a palm tree.
When we first played, didn't you shank on the range for the first 20 minutes?
Oh, we have to
I've
tell
never
this story.
felt so bad in my entire life. At
so
Pelican
Taylor,
Hill.
That's the worst feeling, though.
Dude.
When you come and, like, again, from a guy with a high handicap.
Panic.
If you this is the thing, though. Taylor, you don't know what this feels like. You have no idea.
You're good at golf,
I shanked
bro.
yesterday.
No. You have no idea what it's like to wake up the morning of playing golf and legitimately not know what's going to happen. And, like, you're going to the course and you're in the pro shop and you're like, I haven't played golf in, like, 8 weeks. And, like, and for you, you'd be like, oh, I'm not really feeling it today. Oh, these balls wouldn't cut. For us, it's legitimately just I can shank for the next 30 minutes and like not be able to make contact.
So we get.
And that's fair.
I shanked on Sunday
just
in a
sitting
final
there.
round of a 2-man group in front of my partner. I shanked, dead cold shanked with another group watching.
So we Taylor.
Very, very, very embarrassing.
I don't feel sorry for you at all.
You have no idea.
Taylor texts me. I'm in bed. It's like 11:30 at night. I get a text from Taylor, and it says, "Yo, man, you wanna play Pelican tomorrow?" And inside I'm going, "Fuck no," but I wrote back, "Fuck yes." And then I've gone, "Oh, I have no literally." I was like, I hadn't played.
Weeks.
So I'm living in Beverly Hills, where there's
Whoa.
a bunch of courses that I have zero access to.
Right.
So I swing at a range maybe like once a month, and then Taylor says that he's like, "Yeah, so Sheckler wants to play around. I need a buddy." And I was like, "Dude, thanks for thinking on me, but I suck." So anyway, rock up to the range. I was sick as well, so I was fighting off the flu.
Oh.
So I'm making every excuse. Was this after Austin? I think it was like just after Austin. So I've spent like a week in bed.
Partying.
So anyway, I made between 1 and 14 cocktails over 4 days, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So if you spread it out, it wasn't that bad. But so I get on the range, and then so I got there early.
Mm-hmm.
So Taylor's like, "Let's get there early, and we'll hit some range balls together."
Yeah.
So I got there early, so I could hit some range balls to try and establish contact before Taylor
But
gets
I
there.
was already there.
Yeah, so he was
I
there
saw
down
you from
the
afar.
way, and I'm just like shank. It was like literally the tin cup scene.
It literally was.
It was so bad. And Taylor goes, "This is how bad I was hitting the ball, right?" So Taylor goes, "Here, dude, put these irons down and let's do the rail drill." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm gonna fuck up your clubs." So he puts it down. I'm like hitting both clubs. While I'm ding.
How can the brain be so fucked up you can't even do that? You can't even. That was bad. But then you hit it fine, right, on the first couple holes.
I think the first tee wasn't great, and then I ended up. I think I even won a couple holes in the end.
It's such a mind screw, but and it was off turf, if I remember correctly. It was off turf.
Yeah.
Just should be easy to drop kick it somewhere left, just dead cold shaking. And it's only a millimeter. If you look down where the ball hits the sweet spot, and the shank and the heel, it's just 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad news. But I got
But
it
it
together
worked
on the course. I don't know how I got it together because it was just one of those things where I was just like, like you said, you're just freaking out because there was like I'm at Pelican Hill. There was Sheckler there. Taylor was there. I wanted to play good. The weather was awesome. And then when you really love golf and you don't get to play much golf, there's such a heavy importance on the days that you actually get to play,
Yeah.
even a shitty muni. So then I'm out at Pelican Hill. We got a caddy for the first time. Oh, I've never had a caddy in my life.
His name was Jack Nicholas, wasn't it?
Oh, Taylor was so pissed at this caddy. He kept,
right.
he's Taylor's like, "What, inside left?" And the caddy's like, No. It's like two balls right. So Taylor like relines up his standing up putter, and then he like puts it 2 balls to the right. I'm standing behind his putter. I'm like, all right, well it's lined up, and it just like, and inside, Taylor Massey just wants to lose his shit, and it was just over and over and over and over. It was hilarious.
They do have a Jack Nicholas as a caddy at Pelican Hill. His name is Jack Nicholas. His parents named him Jack Nicholas. It's kind of amazing.
And he's
spelled the same way, Nicholas.
And I don't want to say
Saint
he's
Nicholas.
just a caddy, not to like disrespect caddies, but if your name's Jack Nicholas, that's some lofty expectations to like to end up a caddy.
Yeah, you should.
That wasn't what
try
they had
to be
in
a
mind.
lawyer.
They weren't.
Don't be in the golf vertical.
They weren't naming him
It's
Bones.
just an uphill battle.
There was no like we're calling him Bones.
That'd be like, I really want my son to be in tech. His name's William Gates.
You-
What? We call him Bill though. We call him Billy.
That's very interesting, actually. People, our generation, naming after other. There's a lot of different names going on, blah 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 blah. But you can now, I guess, I don't know. Our last generation probably didn't have the visibility in TV or whatever to see celebrities to name their. Not many kids are named Johnny Carson, or maybe they are.
Or maybe they're named Johnny.
Right.
My thing would be this though.
Right.
Nightmare of all nightmares, right? And I thought about this for a long time. No different than, shout out to Houston right now, obviously going through a lot. Harvey,
The Trill
right?
family.
But like, if your name's Harvey, or like if your name is Katrina, or name the name
Hussein Obama.
I mean, again, like, but you get like
it's with you
Obama.
forever.
forever. But I'm saying it's your name. It's like the whole. It's
Or you
like
can
the
be
office.
president.
It's like the Office Space thing, like the whole Michael Bolton thing. If that's your name, if it's Jace, and all of a sudden there's a serial killer in Europe named Jace, like you're stuck. I mean, you're stuck.
It's the Jace attack guy.
Yeah,
You're
but what happens
screwed.
if it was like random? You know, and I'm sure it's happened a million times. They're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna name my son LeBron Thames. Like, Google Young Jeremy. Is there a LeBron Thames that exists
on Facebook,
in this world?
On Facebook, go to Facebook.
And if
Jeremy.
he's older than actually LeBron James, like
That'd be
you
funny.
just struck
That'd
the
be
wrong. It's just the wrong thing. You know, last name Thames.
That would be really, really funny. It probably happens all the time. What about George Foreman named his kids George 1, George 2, George 3, George 4, George
And then
5?
his daughter's Georgina, right?
Is she?
I don't know.
I think she is. I think you're right. LeBron James, or what if your name was I wonder if there's any other Tiger Woods.
Oh, there's so.
Are there
I was
there's
watching.
many
have you
Woods
seen-
families.
Have you seen that Netflix documentary with the kids?
The short game
Oh,
It's
is
called The
that- is
Short
that where
Game?
all the kids
with
are like.
Anna Kournikovas' son, brother.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
the best
yeah.
show ever.
Yeah, and there's like the tiger. They literally called their daughter Tigress.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I mean, no disrespect.
It
but
does. It follows the parents of these 9-year-old
Heavy.
kids that are
They're
nasty.
like
That's
gnarly,
like
gnarly,
heavy
gnarly.
for the girl.
Yeah.
They use U.S. Well, now it is right.
Yeah.
They use U.S. Kids clubs. That way, 1 ounce. It can help kids get it in the perfect position. They just sit in front. You see it on Instagram. They sit in front of the TV. Dads put their kids, and they just copy Ricky Fowler. They say out just like your kid speaks. He goes, "This is Ricky," and he swings just like him, on a chip, on a drive. They're nasty. I mean, there's like 5-year-olds out there that are like better than Chase. There's no.
Excuse me, which Jace are we talking about here? Are we talking about Cyclone Jace or me as a player?
This is no joke. They're that good because the U.S. kids are so light they can just mimic it unbelievable. And these 9-year-old kids, Kournikova's brother, who's now 14, maybe 13, maybe 12.
He could legitimately hit it further than me.
He
I'm not even
shot
joking.
61 the other day at Trump International in Florida at some tournament because they belong to Trump International, the Kournikovas. And
shout out to Trump. I'm gonna throw out my first shout out on the
He
podcast.
loves golf.
Shout out to Trump, the homie.
And your sponsorship just fell off.
God,
This is the beauty of having no sponsors. You can shout out the most
that's the beauty
hated
from
man
being
in America.
Australia.
What's the?
Hey, he'll send you home. You better watch out. He'll
Yeah.
send you home
Well,
quick.
Trump has played golf more than any other president. I think that's a fact, young Jeremy. If you want to check that.
10 of the last 14 hit.
There's been plenty of people that have sucked at their job.
But that he loves golf. I mean, this is the worst thing ever, but he
Is it
absolutely
good?
loves golf.
Is it good for golf or bad for golf?
Well, it's
Bad.
bad that he's such
Terrible.
an asshole. Imagine if he was cool. He owns 20 resorts around the world. Imagine if he was cool.
Should they have not stopped going to his golf courses when he said the Mexican wall thing? Do you think that
Kinda
it's
half
right?
and
Is
half.
that? I mean, we don't.
Don't
really
be so
need too
sensitive.
political. Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
so sensitive, but also screw him.
I would say that, for the most part, it's really tough to cross the line between like private enterprise and politics.
Yeah.
When you're blending those things, it gets really, really difficult because, there's going to be people out there that support Trump. There's going to be people out there that hate him. But then, when you cross that line into like private enterprise and the private sector, it's like, I mean, is it right? Is it wrong? I mean,
Besides the stupid gold stuff, he does do it right on a few things. Turnberry
I want to hear
is a
it.
better golf course actually now. He's doing it. He bought Turnberry. Also, the ones in Northern Ireland that he bought. And besides, but he puts the gold up, and it's so stupid.
But I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, is golf at a loss by not going to his courses?
If Richard Branson had his courses, they would go to every single one. But he's just an idiot. So I think
Correct.
It's not even. It's an.
he's just, I mean, if you really look at it, the dude's like, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Unequivocally. And so you have to ask yourself, are you going to support a bad guy? I mean, you can look at it in a super objective way. I get it, and say, hey, they're great golf courses, whatever. You're going to look at it for the property. He employs a lot of people, and you can go that route, or you can say like,
Imagine,
the guy's a bad guy.
Imagine if
Yeah.
JFK
On a human level, like there's not a lot of promising things. He says a lot of things that he shouldn't say. Even down to like the most basic stuff where you're like, bro, you can't mess this up.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just take this, and he'll still mess it up. The dude's a bad guy.
I wonder,
We'll
like,
just leave it at that.
What if Bill Clinton owned 20 golf resorts? How sick would that
that would be some fun.
What if
places to play.
JFK owned 20? I mean, it's crazy. We have a president that owns 20 golf resorts or whatever around the world, and it's just so backwards. It's just so lame. He's
Yeah,
so lame.
you'd think that.
Should be awesome.
Oh shit! As golf, we've got a president that is obsessed with golf. This is going to be good.
Right.
How did we get so unlucky that we get a guy that lives obsessed with golf, and that's actually bad for the game?
It's terrible.
That says a lot. It's just
Like
like
that
saying
says
that
a lot about
But
the
it's
dude.
just it's crazy that Hillary Clinton couldn't win, that she did not win that election. How is that possible over such a idiot?
Nah. I mean, we don't. have to
Not
get
that
too
anyone
deep,
wanted
but
Hillary Clinton. Not that anyone wanted Hillary
How
Clinton.
is there only
whatsoever.
2 people that we
Criminal,
can choose from?
criminal.
Of 330 million people in the country, we narrow it down to 2.
That might be.
Is that the issue?
Who would you want as president? Who do you wish to be the next president? Anyone goes.
Elon.
I would say
Elon Musk.
I would say Elon, or I would
you
say
know
Michael.
why? This is a Rogan point.
I would say Jeff Bezos. Maybe not.
This is a Joe Rogan point that I'm totally stealing, but I 100% agree with it. He's a super genius, but he also fell for Scarlett Johansson.
Twice, multiple times.
You know, like, so he's got a soft spot for super hot women. So it's like, oh, you're not a robot. Like,
him and
you're
his
not a
old
robot.
wife. Him and his old wife went back and forth like 4 times, officially divorcing and marrying again. So yeah, he has trouble.
Yeah, so like there's a human element. So like you're as smart as a robot, but at the same time you fall for hot chicks like everybody else on planet. Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe that's because
So
his
it's like,
mind,
there's
right? His mind is on good stuff. I guess I don't know. Besides, shoot.
it just shows me he's got 2 sides. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's got the analytical side, and then he's got like the heart there that he's like, I just want a hot chick.
KJ, who do you got?
I don't know.
Mike
That's a tough-
Meldman?
Meldman all day.
Can we say in like 30 years that we nominate Cam?
Yeah, he might
He's
be in
pretty
there.
smart.
Camden might be in the running. It might be my daughter who's the president.
Mm.
I would say what we need as a country is somebody that understands how to support real business, and that goes from like small business owners to large corporations. Like, we have to have somebody that's willing to, maintain, in my opinion, like a semblance of the private sector. However, that person today more than ever, and Obama was it in certain regards, and it was more of a symbol to an extent. And again, he did an incredible job for our country. So let's move like, the business side of politics of the private sector to one side. We need somebody that's going to really like step up and like unify the country. And I don't think our country will ever be unified, truthfully. I think that as animals,
Yes, against human nature.
I think that there's, if we're really being objective, I think that, as animals, we're sitting here and, darkness is danger when it's outside. A bright light coming at you fast is, danger. Things that are bigger than you are danger.
Anything
change. It's all the dangers that we experience are those filters. I think that we need somebody that's going to be able to say, hey, I understand nobody likes things that are different, really, as an animal. However, we need to use our brains and really like look at this on a higher level and understand that, like, hey, equality is good. All these things aren't scary; they're not bad.
It seems like every 20 or 30 or 40 years, every half generation, we start to evolve through this.
Yeah, and I think that we just need somebody that's going to be able to unify in that regard. And I think it's more of like a thought process and laying it out. I don't know who that is. I don't know what their background is. I just know that
You want Joe Buck as president?
Joe Buck is president. I think it's got to be somebody that it's tough to say, because when you unify like that, you're going to come from a certain place and you're going to already polarize people regardless.
What about like Bono?
Bono, absolutely, but
I don't trust the glasses.
There's our weird glasses.
And it's
Who
it's
do
like
you-
it's nothing against him, but there's something that throws me off there. I'm like, what are you hiding, dude?
Do you remember?
What's behind there?
Right, or share your mushrooms and stuff. Do you remember the PJ of America president 2 years ago got fired for tweeting about Poulter in the Ryder Cup?
Yeah.
He said something like Poulter is a B or a C. I can't remember. He just said something like, hey, it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
And they immediately fired him in 1 second.
Yeah.
And I know the PJ of America, I mean, it was during the Ryder Cup or about to be the Ryder Cup. And so it was responding to something Poulter said. And it was backing up Perez. It was backing up someone pretty cool. He was just backing one of his American guys. They just fired him like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was a really progressive guy for the PJ of America. Can
Yeah.
you tell me a couple of the properties in golf that you like that are progressive or innovative or people that are doing it right? It's not the USGA. This is Taylor speaking. It's not the USGA.
The tough part about golf, as we talked about before, it's an antiquated game. It's an antiquated experience. And there is beauty. I like things that are classic. I like the, Pine Valley type experience. There's something there that's cool in its own little vertical.
You have to be
But,
very quiet there and hush and don't say the wrong word. Tuck
You
in
know?
your shirt, but it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like going to play on a Monet or a
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think there's room for classic things, and you can choose to experience that or not. I think that everybody needs different options in terms of life in general. The person that's pushing it, and it's unequivocal, and like obviously I'm biased, but it's Mike Meldman. I mean, it's Discoveryland. There's
wear
no
a t-shirt, wear no shirt, wear board shorts, have as much fun as you possibly can.
Oh, so he's
play the
Baker's
stupid
baby.
game.
Yeah, but-
play the stupid game and have fun.
But the piece that nobody has connected before is how could you give the golfer Cypress, Pebble Beach, Augusta, Shinnecock, National level golf? And I'm not saying Baker's Bay is Cypress. I'm not saying equating that.
Understood.
But I'm saying
Understood.
if you put those courses, all of them in a category, it's in the ultra premium category. However you want to slice that, that up
They're
at the very, very
plush.
top.
They're plush.
It is the best experience with the best caddies, with the best clubhouses, with all the things that you would come to expect from the top of the top country clubs that previously to him were so stuffy by the rules and all that. And, for those that don't know, you can go out and play Baker's Bay or El Dorado or really any of his properties in a T-shirt, in board shorts, with a 7-some, have your girlfriend come out with cocktails. You can drive your cart any which way. And there's just a culture about it that's super, super liberating to the point where you
That's
get these
amazing.
guys that belong at Shinnecock, Cypress, Augusta, that all are members at Meldman parties. And it's two different things. I'm not saying it's going to overtake it. I'm just saying it's.
Well, there's a beacon of light. It sounds like the beacon of light. And those guys that belong to Shinny, they come there and they're a little like unsure. Do I take this collared shirt off or not? And then they end up having so much fun. And it's like, bro, relax. It's like I'm trying to tell my dad all the time, just relax, bro.
And that's what we said last week. It's like, I don't want to see every single movie in 3D. I still want to see a 2D movie.
Right.
I still enjoy a 2D movie. There's something pure about that experience. But then Guardians of the Galaxy comes around, or Avatar, I'm like, bring that shit on in 3D.
Yep.
Like, let me put on some weird goggles.
Totally.
So you're
And-
saying going into Pine Valley and being respectful and being quiet and playing such a revered course. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that's like
Wingfoot.
watching an old film movie.
Wingfoot.
And you appreciate the beauty. You're like, that is a beautiful format.
Yes.
To watch or experience something.
Unequivocally.
And that's what a film's like.
Yeah.
Or do I just want to binge watch something on Netflix?
Yeah. And again, it's what we talked about today. I mean, playing scrambles can be fun if it's in the right format. I think the larger holes can be fun in the right thing. I think that that's a problem with golf is it's so traditional and it's so antiquated and they just want to keep going back. It's like, push it forward, make it crazy, do
Where I
stuff
play
that's
in Virginia,
crazy.
Let the
They still don't
market
listen to music.
dictate. Let the market dictate what is right.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, I mean, to me, it seems like the USGA is the one that dictates who's right. Or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, put
You
it
should
out to
have
the
every
free
single
market.
golfer now with digital. That's the best point I've ever heard, Jace. And that literally is the best point I've ever heard. If you want to go, the rules that just changed this year that took the last 10 years, every single person's known which rules need to change, even though they didn't fix divots in the fairway, which are man-made.
Yeah.
While you play better on the weekend, you have to be behind 120 guys or 60 guys playing divots. That's just very weird. Why would they change that? But anyway, one guy told me, the USGA head official in Virginia told me they're not doing that because they don't know what's a divot and they can't trust the guys. Well, it's a gentleman's game,
But
and
you
you
have
can't
to
trust.
trust the
You
guys.
can't
That's
address
what
it.
it's
Except
based on.
Matsuyama, you can trust the guys, and you take it out of the divot. You know what a divot is, and
Yeah.
also it's just so anal. It's so stupid. It's just like
I would say that there's also generationally on those rule changes. I think that will be a rule that gets changed in the next couple go arounds. You also have to maintain the integrity of like Jack's majors record in that if he was allowed to,
Yeah.
knock his balls out of divots.
how many balls was he's in divot? He's still alive. We should call him and ask him on Twitter or Facebook because he does respond to that type of stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
Or write him a letter and say, Jack, how many divots do you think you were in your major, or the PGA, or blah blah.
That's a great question.
That's a good
Love to
point
know
that
that.
you do bring up, though.
But I
for
would
sure.
say again, and this goes for any sport, NBA, 3-point line, et cetera, all these things, in college going back. You just have to be careful for records, for the tradition of the game, for the argument forever of like, if people are going into the Hall of Fame and all this, it's like, the 3-point line was here and
Yeah.
you were here.
Can we also say this? That it really doesn't matter whatsoever. It's just like the rules that they changed. They're not changing till 2019. Is that true?
Yeah, I think it's 2019.
Why the fuck would you wait 2 years to change a rule that everyone knows? And because they'd say, oh, people get used to it. In
Doesn't
one
really
month,
matter.
it'd be fine. In 3 tournaments, they'd get over it, and everyone would understand it. It'd be fine.
You literally have a meeting and on the first tee and you go, hey,
Tell everyone.
So this week you can leave
With
the
it-
pins in when you putt.
I mean, but again, as much as you say that, what happened to you with your little man-made thing at the mid-end? Like, that's going to happen.
The rules are very, 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 very down to a millimeter. My foot was not touching the piece of middle. That was 1 inch away, but it was in the moat of where they cut out the sprinkler head, and the guy wouldn't give me relief.
Yeah, and again, rules are rules. I think the biggest piece.
It was obvious to give me
The
relief.
thing, though, with me, right, when you come... Free Taylor Massey. He was unjustly penalised.
I wanted to finish what you were saying. Take the rules, and instead of I don't want to say it like this, but the fucking committee at USGA or wherever decide for us. Now with digital, you can have every single person vote. 400,000 golfers, 100,000, 50,000. Anyone besides six old.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hate to say this about the USGA. I love the USGA. I love golf. I love the USGA. I love the US Open. Blah, 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 blah. But why 6 people will decide it on the board and not, like you said, that's a genius idea.
Market. Because
We
that's
should
what- that's what
protest. Let's
literally-
protest.
That's what dictates everything.
Yeah.
And it's like that's where you see the problems with like health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no free market.
Mhm.
Healthcare, it's not a free market. So you can see it in like a country standpoint. There's problems that you have where a governing body intervenes with things that the free market should dictate.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's a company that's selling a car for $140,000 and another company is selling the same car for $30,000, the free market dictates that you buy the $30,000 or $40,000 car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I just think that it gets overcomplicated with, like you said, the 6 people that think they know best.
Right.
It's like, let's put it out
How
to the
many
people.
pros-
Let's put it out to the people.
How
that
many
play golf.
pros would vote for the ball, for one uniform ball from each company for the pros? How many do you think over under would choose slow the ball down?
That is
40% or 60%? KJ?
40.
Interesting.
absolutely no idea.
I mean, I guess
it's
so many
like-
people drive the ball over 290 yards now. There's probably, out of the 125 people that get their job back, there's probably, we can check, where's young Jeremy, 60 people that hit it over 290. That makes every par 5 basically reachable. And
Well-
everyone under that would probably, you're right, would probably vote, it would probably be 60-40.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Why don't we? I mean, it's hard because it's industry. So if you said like Titleist, you guys are the tour ball. That takes away from a lot.
They can't
Yeah,
let
he-
one brand.
Yeah, he's saying
So-
he's saying one brand.
No,
I'm saying he's saying every brand gets one ball.
Every brand, they have a small
okay.
dimension that knows about the sponginess of a ball, that it can either be illegal or not illegal. Just like the wedges went to grooves, just like the face of the springy face they had to deal with, a trampoline, which they did, and now everyone. If Jack Nicklaus is saying it's the ball, it's the fucking ball.
It has to be the ball.
Why are they not listening to him saying, Jack, thank you so much for speaking up. Why don't you come into our organization and have a board meeting with us? You played forever, won all the majors. You know exactly what's going on. We don't.
The thing that I think, right, and I don't know if it's possible from an engineering standpoint, but I'm thinking if people can go to space, it has to be that let's make specs. So the problem is that so you get DJ is hitting at X amount of club speed versus X amount of spin, and then that's why he's getting like it's the low spin. Like the drivers don't spin, so that's when they can throw it out. You combine that with club head speed, that's where you're getting the crazy distance. So like, what if we make where every brand, so like, all right, you want your ball to be on tour, it needs to fit within this window.
They do that though, right?
Kinda,
But
yeah.
you
they
look
do
at
it, but
you
they
look at
do
the
it, but they don't.
TP5.
They don't do it on the inside. They don't do it, I guess, in certain parts that they still have a right to make it whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
The
let's have
proprietary technology.
Yeah,
The
so
core,
let's have-
core is extra spongy or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, so
It's
let's
literally
have one-
NASA engineers working on this stuff.
Yeah, it's
literally
crazy.
NASA engineers are making golf balls.
Because that's the thing with Formula One, right? So McLaren could go out, or Ferrari, they got a lot of money. They could give Bridgestone, say they run Bridgestone tires or whatever. They could give Bridgestone a bunch of money and say, "Hey, make us the best tires." Because it's money. Money is what makes that it drives R&D.
Yep.
But it's a controlled thing in Formula One. You get X amount of tires that you can use on a race weekend. It's not a free for all because tires are where speed comes from, essentially in sports like that.
Mhm.
So you get let's could we tighten it up?
It's great to see some of the new brands coming in golf. Vice balls, cut balls,
Volvics.
Yes,
Snell, Volvics. Bubba's made 2 cuts since he went to the Volvic. It's on his shirt, though. He must be rethinking that, but he's playing well recently.
I think that, I mean, I take the dry ball data or whatever, but I think that there's definitely dry ball data that says that a couple of those Volvic balls are pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
comparably.
Yeah, I think he
So I
did
don't
look at
know
the
whether-
he looked at the data and said it was close enough.
But there's got to be feel stuff that comes into it, right? Especially for a player like him.
Can you
Yeah.
switch guitar strings? Can you switch guitar pick just like that?
You're gonna. I mean, I think once you get to a certain level of any profession, you're gonna notice
Right.
differences regardless. And
Right.
some things matter, some don't.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Oakley stopped making golf shoes. I don't think that was the effect. You know, but I bet he felt going from Oakleys to FootJoys or whatever he's wearing.
G4s.
G4s. That's
High
right.
tops.
Shout out to Moss.
Moss, what up?
But yeah, but I'm saying, you know, I'm sure, you know, he could notice that. But
He said it was fine. He wanted to play the colored balls. You know what? I think that's actually really cool. He's kind of like, you know what? Fuck the money. You know, it's like, don't worry about it. I'm a good golfer. I'm going to have fun and play with the color I want to play with. But when you start missing cuts, it must just be like in the mirror when you're by yourself, no wife, no kids,
Yeah.
in the bathroom by yourself. You look in the mirror and you're kind of like,
well,
have you ever been on stage and missed the guitar string more than 3 times?
I would say like the biggest piece is like if you're gonna have like the integrity of like the art, to know that you're sacrificing your equipment
Yeah.
for money.
Right.
That's where it's got to. If you
I
told
think a
me
lot of
like
people do
but
that.
I mean, again,
lot of people do
absolutely,
that.
specifically in
I'll
golf,
play these Nike irons.
Yeah,
one
but what's
hundred
the-
percent. But I'm saying you're sacrificing, and the justification is I'm a good player, I can play whatever. You know, the answer for me would be like, oh, don't play the Fender Stratocaster, go play this thing.
Taylor guitars.
Yeah, or whatever you know would be the antithesis of that, or the lower level, just because of money, and then to play it and know like, damn, if I had a Martin in my hand, things would sound different.
So
but
is it
I'm a
like
good
that?
enough guitar player to
Is
fake it
like
through
that?
or get it.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
100%.
But even when you're playing, you might make a couple mistakes out of your own thing, but you don't shoot 80. You don't forget how to play like
Yeah.
like Ian Baker Finch.
Yeah, I mean that's a piece that
And there's people that can't make a 3-foot putt that play their whole life golf.
But what's the
That is so crazy.
think about the money of this, right? What did Jordan Spieth make in 15? 22 million in prize money. Volvic ain't paying Bubba 22 million.
But they're probably paying
So
a
you
lot.
could, but what's a lot compared to
Probably
what,
a million
5
or 2.
Yeah, but
Probably
you
a million.
win
Yeah, I
one
know.
golf tournament. It's $1
Yeah, I
million
know.
bucks.
Yeah, I
Any
know.
golf tournament anywhere.
He probably owns part of the company too, but I totally agree with you. There's nothing
Yeah.
that,
There's
that
no-
could take as much money as there is golf to ever change. Hendrik Stenson just changed his 3-wood to the Callaway Epic.
But the answer is, you know, you got to backtrack and say, okay, cool. How much is Titleist paying him? Nothing. I mean, Titleist isn't. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that
Did Jordan?
You mean
Oh,
for the
I'm
ball?
saying to Bubba, right? So let's say he wants to play.
Well,
Titleist was
he's
paying him.
paying.
Titleist pays every tour pro something, I think. Pretty
Again,
Oh,
I,
yeah, yeah,
I'm
I see
saying
what you're
nothing
saying,
relative, negligible.
right.
They don't
Couple
need to
hundred
pay.
grand is
It's Pro
nothing.
V1's Pro V1,
Yeah.
right? The
Right.
technology's there. All they have to do is hit some kind of threshold, and people are going to play it because they know that that's what they played for so long.
And the guys have played it forever.
So, but to your point earlier, I bet he saw data. I bet he tried it out, and he said it's close enough. I'm a good golfer, and maybe
This is fun.
maybe this is number one. Maybe it doesn't matter, or number two, maybe it's going to make me better.
And
And
they
then,
I don't
but
know if
you
it's better,
throw,
but they offered him a lot of the company.
yeah, and then you
they
get
offered him
and,
a lot of
and
company.
then you get a piece of the company, and you know you get your yearly guaranteed pop,
Fun.
and it's probably a
And it's
longer term deal.
colorful.
Well, that, but I'm saying like all these guys are making decisions because
And maybe he's just playing super shit golf.
yeah, I mean
That's another
there's
thing,
He
right?
has
Yeah,
a
I
new
do,
kid.
man.
I have to say, he's really cool about that. That he has chosen stuff that he likes, and that's really
yeah,
awesome.
but I think ultimately, you know, the money thing drives it. You know, you're looking at it, and what go one step behind that. Let's be honest, it's the agents because the agents don't commission off tour wins.
Yeah, that's true.
So if they're only commissioning off your marketing deals, they're going to keep you and push you into one vein. If we were all commissioning off a golfer,
I'd cheers to that.
you're
That's a good
gonna push your golfer to go a certain way. And if let's say Titleist, this sponsorship's $100,000, and Volvic's gonna come out and say, hey, we're gonna give you $1 million a year for 4 years, and
That's
Titleist is gonna be like,
$10,000
yeah, and
versus
Titleist says you get a $200,000 deal, $100,000 for 2 years.
They're going to press you hard. into
You're
doing
gonna
it.
go. They're gonna be like this. Try it. If you don't like it, we can leave.
And then the agent's doing the little slippery thing where he's like,
It's not even slippery. It's just like that's what you're going to do as an agent because you're going to say, hey, it's the only thing we're changing in your game. You're a good golfer. You can make whatever work. It's telling me, hey, I know you play Martin and Taylor acoustics or you play Strats and Gibson electrics, but there's this other company out there and they're called, you know, Massey Guitars, and they're really good.
They sound
They're on the
awesome.
up,
They're
man.
really
They're on
good.
the
They
up.
They're
sound
not
awesome.
They're not great, but they're really good. You're a good enough guitar player to make it work. And then you're in the studio knowing that it's not a Gibson. And
You miss one string.
you know, and that would be you know.
But back to the agents, I mean, what's that called? I mean, everyone needs to make some paper to feed their family.
Yeah,
But
it's just like the machine of it all, you know.
yeah, it's a machine. It's a
Right,
circus and a machine at the same time.
But you know, for them, the piece that most people don't realize is the agents don't commission off tour winnings.
right.
So they're going to be incentivized
Man,
to
that would be the gig.
Oh
What?
my God, if you're a
If
boy.
you got commission off tour winnings, that's
Well,
the,
some
that's the
Well, but-
coaches
but-
do, and masseuses
but-
should, and meditation teachers should, or something.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, in terms of that, that's the marketing dollars are completely tied to
yeah.
your tour winning. So
Yep.
if you're crushing on tour, you're going to crush it in marketing. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Unless you're don't have a personality.
I was waiting for another Furyk dig.
Well, let's look at that. How many sponsors does Furyk have?
5 Hour Energy, son.
He has
And he
right.
has
right.
RBC.
God, he made so much money.
He's got RBC.
RBC.
Yeah.
I'd
yeah.
have RBC on my back.
Furyk's a
It's
good
just like
dude.
look at surfing. Look at some of the guys on Pro Tour that aren't sponsored,
Yeah.
but that are in the
Yeah.
top 20. It's kind of like what
The biggest piece though is just the equipment piece, and like it's the Lonzo Ball conversation of like, okay, that's cool, you're gonna make your own shoe, but like, you're really gonna go against Nike with decades and decades and decades of technology that will make you a better basketball player. You can't tell me that the Nike shoe, for a variety of reasons, isn't going to
Yeah.
influence your game, and in a game, specifically golf, which is even crazier, that's about
Inches,
Yeah,
millimeters.
millimeters.
Even basketball, you know.
That's
is-
like
is-
the Volvic. That's like the Volvic ball.
So, you know, I'm sure Bubba looked at the data, but I'm sure that there was a huge push on the agency side that said, hey, let's just try this. You're a good enough golfer to overcome it, even if it's just a little negligible.
I don't think
difference.
it's hooking and slicing as much as he'd want it.
I mean, again, you know, I don't know his game well enough, and I haven't followed the data.
What
for
is
this
Ball
year.
going to be wearing? Didn't he end up wearing a style of shoe from everybody?
Yeah.
In the summer league, what do you think he's going to do this year?
Nike.
He'll wear the big ball. He'll wear Nike
Yeah, you got it.
because they just got to write you a fat ass
Oh,
check.
the biggest check. The biggest
But it's
check.
the dopest shit.
Yeah.
No, but the
yeah, I guess.
technology
All
is the
foreigners
best.
and Australians love Nike.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But
They're
again,
hard to come by, man, in Cairns.
Yeah.
If you had Nikes when I was growing up, you were pretty fly.
yeah.
My friend Bart Wilson wears
We had
them
like
all the time.
we had like New Balance.
Mhm.
What else did we have? Like, oh man, I'm trying to remember.
You probably had some random Australian brand
super
too. That
hokey.
nobody
What about
knows.
Rod
Super
Laver? He had
hokey
Rod
shit.
Laver Adidas. What's that Rod Laver brand?
I don't know.
He's
Isn't
gonna
he-
cut, but he's
isn't he
gonna
a
he's
tennis
gonna name a brand right now that we've never heard of. in our
Slazenger.
life.
Slazenger is
There it
sick.
is.
Slazenger is
Oh,
sick.
yeah,
we've
you've
heard of
had-
that.
You've had something.
The
You-
Tiger,
you got-
the
think of
Puma?
something even more specialized. I guarantee there's one in there. It's got to be an Australian only. Like who was behind UGG? Like where did they come from before that?
Oh my God, that's exactly right.
Before they made Uggs, what company did they work for?
That's exactly right. That's exactly a great point. It's Ugg.
They
They're-
probably made blankets.
No, I'm saying the
First.
designer of the shoe worked somewhere before.
Yeah, he worked for a blanket company
Yeah,
in
but you're gonna be
Tasmania.
like Gronalins, the
How they
shoe
did-
for Australia Aussies.
And now they
I'm
sponsor
honestly
Tom
stumped on
Brady.
that.
Tom Brady said, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Is he sponsored by Uggs?
Yes, Tom Brady, America's best favorite son, Giselle's husband.
America's child. He is America's firstborn child.
He's going to win more Super Bowls. I mean, they're cheat a little bit, but it's fine. And
what's a bit of cheating here and
I
there?
mean, just filming the other people's practice.
I
not
think
cheating.
he
just,
unequivocally gets one more,
he
oh,
has
yeah.
to get one.
and I
yeah.
think there's like an outside chance that like 2 is possible.
multiple, right?
The Edelman thing,
thing's-
Edelman thing hurts, but
Are
They
you
did- they
eating
did it without Gronk.
or
right?
Aaron
Yep.
Hernandez?
Hey, is DJ the Gronk of
Too
the
soon?
PGA Tour?
Too soon?
that's-
is DJ the Gronk of the PGA Tour? No,
You don't think so?
because you got to go personality wise. DJ's pretty serious.
No, I'm not. Not that he isn't serious, but like
Freak of
once
nature
in
athlete?
a lifetime, freak specimen. DJ freak, Gronk freak. Like they
Yeah.
just do things
Yeah.
that you know what I mean. And I think you can't deny that DJ was wild. I think personality-wise, he's probably a bit more serious than Gronk, but there's definitely some parallel with the level of looseness at some point in their life.
Yeah, I mean again, but DJ.
And hey,
What happened at the
respect.
Masters?
Was he
That's a-
pushed?
That's an age-old question. I don't know.
Was
he
he
pushed?
wrestling with another friend? You know what? Those, to be honest, I've been in a few Masters house, not many, but a few the last couple of years, and every single rental house has wood flooring, And some of that wood down the stairs is super slippery.
Yeah,
on your socks.
especially because they send the cleaners in right before Masters Week.
Shining.
And DJ's
Shining
feet
everything.
are like this big. Like you want to just avoid stairs when your feet are that big.
I think you just slipped having a couple of just mild coldies is what I'm saying. My buddy, my friend from Augusta, David Rivers, who was quarterback at University of Virginia, where I went, and he backup quarterback, and he was the mayor of Augusta. Brooks Koepka rented his house, and the maid called midweek and said, "I've never seen so many beer cans in my entire life." I guess he had all his boys down just getting loose.
Why wouldn't you?
So you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect.
It's funny how no one really finds out what that's all about, what actually 100% happened. There's a total code in golf, not to. I mean, you saw Jordan Spieth's balls last week, and you're not telling us.
That never happened.
Dude, I'm
He
stoked.
wasn't putting them on someone else's from Texas.
That never
head.
happened.
I'm
That never
stoked.
Hey, they're just
that-
young people, rich, happy, and fun, having fun. You know, they should be able to let loose. Like
Yeah,
surfing,
no.
there's a code. Surfer media is a code. Like, hey, don't blow your dude up too much.
Except for when they posted Wilco's bar tab after
Well,
Rip
see, that's-
Curl Pro. That was like I can't remember what it was. It's
That's
like
totally fun.
thousands and thousands, and like no
That's
one
totally,
gives a shit.
totally fun.
No one cares.
Yeah.
And that's like sponsored by alcohol brands. Some of the like Wilco is sponsored by Corona.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Smiley Coffin's Natural Light now.
yeah. See, that's rad.
That's
like,
the sickest sponsor you could ever have.
Well, you're not allowed to have it on your
On
bag
your shirt,
or your
right.
shirt or anywhere
Right.
visible.
Yeah.
Alcohol brands.
Yep.
You can have.
Right.
Grey Goose had a clothing line. I think it was Kuchar was sponsored by
Kuchar.
Grey Goose. Then Johnny Walker did one as well. So if you can tie it into a clothing line, you can be branded that way. But it has to be very specific on the
Right.
You're speaking like a man who knows his liquor.
Oh God.
Right.
No, but just think about it. In that category, PGA Tour, you can't have an alcohol brand here. You can't have Mondavi. You can't have, Dom Perignon.
Casamigos.
And that's
Casamigos.
the thing. Like it's I feel like golf,
Image.
the sponsorship side of golf is all quite premium brands. That's premium. That's as premium as it gets.
Glenn Morgie, Rolex.
Yeah, like let's keep it going. I'd say let the dudes make as much as they can.
But it's an image thing. Again, it's PGA Tour. It's
But
buttoned
they
up,
allow
it's-
beef to have
but they
Arby's.
serve it.
Arby's roast beef that probably kills people.
Yeah, kills more people than Dom
The whole
Perignon.
thing's fucked up. What about this? Do you think they're going to have weed sponsors soon?
No.
Because it's a banned substance.
I think yes.
It's a banned substance.
Well, it's not
for now,
banned. I
though.
mean, again,
It's
Well,
in
I
40
think-
states. When
is
it
it
hits 50
USADA though?
states,
Is it USADA banned, like performance banned? Like if you took a piss test at the PGA Tour and you smoked
they're
weed?
gonna next year they're gonna be allowed to smoke marijuana.
or take it in a bottle form.
Yeah, no, but the next year
dropper
they
form.
won't be dinged.
That's in
CBD.
Is that in sport in general?
No, just
Or
PGA
just
Tour.
PGA
PGA
Tour?
Tour.
One will fall, two will fall. Do you know that for a fact?
Yes.
How many dudes are stoners on the PGA Tour? Like not naming
There-
names, but
there-
do you think
there's
there's any dudes that are
Just like
regular
everything,
stoners?
there's a tight crew. If you look at the whole spectrum of 100 people, humans, over here is the 10, 20, 30 that
Yeah,
smoke
it's
some
high
weed.
school.
Yeah, exactly. But the stoner crew, the stoner crew on the PGA Tour is awesome. And the
off air,
caddies
I
out
wanna
there,
know.
shout out Billy and all the boys. You don't know which Billy, but Billy and all the boys. They just have a rotation. Think about it. They've been traveling the same cities forever, and it's always been underground. I don't know what they're thinking now with it being above ground. Portland was web.com. There are a lot of guys there, whatever. But they know how to get it. I know that. From Scotland to California to Kuala Lumpur. They know how to get there, bud.
Should we bring Camden in for a question?
Yeah, let's get Cam
Is
in
that him
here.
outside?
Yeah.
Let's get him in. I'm gonna learn something from this. No, I will say though, pretty happy to see DJ back in pre-Masters form, but
He seems to be feeling it.
it just seems unfair.
He
He's
hits every
so
wedge.
good.
It's his long game, you could say, but he hits every single wedge on practice at home and at the tournament on TrackMan, and he calls out the distance.
Yeah,
That must make your brain understand the exact distance your body's feeling.
yeah, and it just gives you so much feel. And
If you
like
said
that,
112, you're like, I know exactly what 12 is. I've hit 20 112s this week.
yeah, and just that feeling in your hands when you're sort of pulling the club away.
Confirmation. I think it's what changed his game, the wedges.
It just, man, like you watch. Obviously, Jordan played. I mean, he played his way out of winning it straight up without having DJ played great, and then Jordan kind of put his foot off the pedal a little
Jordan
bit.
always seems to put the foot off the pedal or slips off the pedal and makes a double or a bogey or
Yeah.
something.
But
He's
then-
tentative. Sometimes that happens, but
Yeah, Cammy.
What's up, son?
So this is question time with Cam.
You gotta put these headphones on here.
Can you hear me, Camden?
Cam,
Can you
how
hear me?
much do you like golf? 1 to 10.
Okay, just talk in right in there.
I like golf much better.
All right.
That was
next,
deep. That was meta.
Awesome.
next question.
Us too.
Tell me about your dad's golf swing. Is it good?
Yeah,
Is it on plane?
yeah.
That's nice. Show us how you do your fist pump if you make a putt. Boom. Nice.
Who's your favorite golfer?
Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
Shout out Ricky Fowler.
No one held up a sign there or
Where,
anything.
where don't we want to hit our golf balls?
In the river or the bunker. In the river or the bunker.
No go. No go. River
All right,
bunker.
Where? How many times have you played golf at a real golf course?
Two.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you're right. Too.
Awesome.
And how old are you? Is it the accent? You can't understand me?
Yeah.
Cannon, say good day, mate. Good day, mate.
He say, "Good day, mate."
Good night, you Mike.
Hey, that's better than me.
That's pretty good. All right. If you get to play golf, what do you like to eat after golf?
Spinach.
Spinach.
to get
all
strong.
right. Cool.
What does long and
Why do you
strong
like
mean?
spinach?
Muscles.
Oh, you get muscles.
Do you hit it
Yeah,
long
show
and
me, show me.
strong?
Just let me see. Camden, let me see.
Long and strong.
Yes.
Okay, so if you were gonna play golf, how far do you think you could hit it?
I can hit it this time. This. Boom.
1 mile.
That went about 270.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was a 4-iron. That's pretty
What
good.
other what
okay,
other
what-
tour player do you know besides Ricky Fowler? Who else?
Who did you meet? Remember he came over, and he was from the UK, and his name rhymes with sheath.
Yeah.
And his name starts with a B.
What?
You remember meeting him? Remember
Beef.
Beef? You remember meeting Beef?
And how do you say his name? How do you yell it out? Beef.
There
What
you
up,
got
Beef?
it.
Okay,
What up, Beef?
What's a funnier name? Okay, ready? Furyk
Furyk.
or Bjorn?
Bjorn.
Do you know who Tiger Woods is?
It's. Hey, what are those?
Those are Reese's
Reese's
cups.
Pieces.
They're Reese's cups. Do you want some candy?
Yeah.
Okay, what-
Mom,
All right, we have a question. now.
candy.
Who
yeah,
is
candy.
ready? Who is Tiger Woods?
Good golfer or bad golfer?
Dino Tiger.
Daniel Tiger. All right. Do you think that Tiger Woods is going to be able to play golf again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Good work.
Do
I
you
like
think that
that.
he's going to be able to win a golf tournament?
Yeah.
What about win a major?
How about volleyball?
All right.
I think he likes got volleyball chicks.
I think that was great.
So-
So he's going to win a tournament, but he's not going
Not
to
going to win a major,
major.
but he will play in the
volleyball.
Olympics
Chicken
for
on.
volleyball.
Chicken
Okay,
on.
if you were going to be a golfer,
Chicken on.
what company would you want to sponsor you? Okay, you get to choose from one of three. Okay, first one is
Casa
Nike.
Amigos.
First one is Nike. Next one's Adidas, and the third one is Under Armour. Which one? You can only pick one.
Be quiet.
Which one do you want? Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour?
Nike.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Why?
Vomit.
Why do you like Nike? Do you like a certain player on Nike or something? Who's your other favorite athlete?
Cliff.
Cliffs.
Cliff?
Cool.
Hey,
Who's Cliff?
hey, what's that?
No,
What's that on that?
those are cameras. They're filming you. All right, so now you get to ask them a question. What question do you want to ask them?
Ricky.
What about Ricky?
What about Ricky?
Um,
You got to ask a question.
Have I ever drank the Ryder Cup champagne out of the Ryder Cup with Ricky? Yes.
yes.
Okay. If you were going to win a trophy, what would you do with the trophy? What would you do with your trophy?
He's mesmerized by that.
You will hit it in the hole.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's how you get a trophy?
Yeah, that's you hit it in the hole, and then you get a trophy.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Do you like
Pretty
your
much.
daddy's music? Do you like your daddy's music?
Is your dad a good singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we think so too.
What's your favorite song he sings?
He sings a lot of songs.
Should we listen to one from him?
Yeah.
There we go, Daddy.
You want to sing one with me real quick?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, you sit here.
Here we go. Here we go.
and we'll sing it
Here we
together.
go.
All right, so I think that Kelley James is about to play a song, and this probably isn't going to happen with every podcast guest.
Right.
This is a rare treat.
You got to keep these on.
We're not setting a precedent here because I don't know if our guests are as cool as this.
Oh my gosh, should we make up a rap about the kid, about Camden? Should we?
No.
Nah.
Right, I hear you. He'll roast us,
here
won't
we
he?
go.
He'll
All right,
roast
let's
us.
go.
All right, we got to sing together in here. All right?
Okay.
All right, and I'll play the guitar. You sing. All right, ready? I need a ice cold beverage right up in my hand. Give me two on a blanket, lying in the
Singing
fire. Stars come out to enjoy the vibe we're feeling now. Oh, we're feeling now. The sun's gonna set and the sun's gonna rise. I get the concept. I'm still living for the night while you always waiting for the weekend. I'm about to burn it down right now. You about tomorrow, I'm about
right now.
Now,
So can you tell me right now how you feeling? While you always waiting for the
Weekend.
I'm about to burn it down right now. You about tomorrow, I'm about
Down right now.
So can you tell me right now how you feeling? While you always waiting?
For a weekend.
Yeah.
Shout out to Camden.
you,
All right, so what should we sing about now?
you.
Nothing about.
That was
All right.
We going to freestyle right now?
Okay, it goes like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, Tiger Woods, where are you? You used to shine so bright. Now you send dick pics all at night. Oh, Tiger, Tiger, where are you? We need you back in golf, it's true. They hacked your phone and that's messed up, I know. Making fun of it ain't cool. So, Tiger Woods is a legend. But your new legend is Ricky Fowler, yeah, you're guessing. Tiger Woods gonna win one more tourney. Major win, not happening in a hurry. Ricky Fowler is your favorite golfer though. That's how you do it, and you wanna go to golf tournaments with daddy and your friends, and we can hang out together. It depends if they'll let you on the golf course. Like today, they said no one can play if they're underage. But it's okay, cause we got the chip and putt, and we had a lot of fun under the summer sun. Tiger Woods, you need to come back though. The game of golf needs you swinging everything you know. Camden on the mic.
Cameron on the mic.
Yeah, you can do it all night. We gonna break it down and we gonna have fun. We gonna do it like this, chilling with Jason, Massey, you know, and all of our friends. And
I want mommy.
me too.
Me too.
Yeah, buddy.
Awesome.
There you have
That was
it.
all time. Book it.
Kelley James
Clean it and launch it.
doing his thing
Mommy.
in the studio.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta go do bedtime now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the end of the podcast? Do we end on that? Or are we still going?
Good night, sweetie. Good
See
night,
you,
sweetie.
Cambo.
Great playing golf with you.
Thanks for everything, bud. Give me a high five.
We'll see you soon.
Boom.
Great job, buddy.
That was legendary.
So good.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep, say goodbye.
Good
See
night.
ya, bro.
Good night.
He is a
Oh my God,
talented,
that was
talented dude.
That was unbelievable.
And a good golfer.
That was unbelievable.
Good golfer and a good guy.
Really could be a good golfer.
Yeah, he just like really doesn't golf.
Yeah. Something's off. Hard game. But
What's-
he's nasty.
What's coming up for you here this week? What's your next week in golf look like?
Rest, relax, watch it on TV. Second event of the playoffs. I just got back from the Link Soul 2-man for 4 days in Tahoe. And that was incredible. Played a lot of golf. I might play tomorrow.
Yeah, you gonna stay down here?
I might play tomorrow, stay up here. What is coming next? Something. I'm going to think golf and talk golf and do golf. We're doing something down at the office in Carlsbad, aren't we?
I'm away. I leave for Kansas on tomorrow afternoon, and then I'm away for an undetermined amount of time.
Will you have 2 hours off in Kansas?
Yeah, so we're doing podcast. We're doing This Week in Golf next week. We'll have young Jeremy will be with me.
Okay, well, where are you going to be in Kansas?
I don't even know.
Are you going to be near Kansas City?
I don't even know.
Well, I have 2 great friends that live in different places in Kansas, and both will host you for golf. One at, not Pumpkin Ridge, what's the dope course in Kansas called? I can't even remember. One Kansas City Country Club where Tom Watson plays, but there's another place outside Kansas City. Anyone in Kansas, shout out if you want to host a podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking clubs. I don't know how much time I'll have for golf.
Are you really taking clubs?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking clubs. I take clubs everywhere.
You have all this camera gear and you take clubs also. That's a little obsessive, isn't it?
Just has to happen. You saw some pretty bad swings today, man.
You can't. Yeah, I don't think it's up to your single length irons. I think rent anything and you'll play the same.
No, I need the reps, man.
All
No,
those
you're right. I really don't need to take my own clubs, but I just don't know how long I'm going to be away for.
Right, I hear that.
And he's back, the man. of
What
the hour.
is this course in Kansas City? It's the best course in Kansas City.
So what do you got coming up? Tell the people. Tell all the people.
Well, I just finished a pretty intense little run. We touched on it last week. I'm going to I'm gonna lay low for the next 6 days. I'm going to Cabo actually with Ricky Barnes.
Nice.
Tricky Ricky
Couples
Barnes.
trip. Got a show in Chicago on the 11th, September 11th, and then I go to Pebble Beach to play in the member guest at Monterey Peninsula Country Club.
Who's your guest?
I am the guest of one of the members up there.
Oh.
And then I fly back for the USC Texas game. Then I go to Atlanta to play for Stuart Sink during the FedEx Championship Week.
Do you make fun of his tan, his bald head tan?
Everything's fair game when you're rolling.
You need as much as you
when
can
you're
get.
rolling the mic, yeah.
You need as
Well,
much as you
actually, I think I'm going to be there for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one?
For the Atlanta FedEx.
So we play Monday. It's called the Sink It Challenge. And they actually do a really great job with the event.
Should we get Sync on the podcast?
Absolutely.
Me, you, and Sync.
Get whoever you want.
He's one of the greatest guys.
He really is.
Yeah.
One of the
should
best.
Try to do that. Me, you, and Sync.
I'm in. I fly in late Sunday night.
Am I
We
out?
play.
No, you're in too.
Sync off.
We play all day on Monday.
You're always in. What does that even mean?
Skype you in.
Yeah.
But I fly out after the event quick, so we would need to find time. But I'm in.
Yeah.
Do that. I'm gonna play in. It gets blurry.
It gets blended, right?
What are you going to do about your game?
It's a great question. I'm also playing the LA Country Club member guest, which I'm a little nervous about. At the end of September, so I got to fit some time in there with the guru Massey over here.
The guru is in LA and his name's GG Swing Tips, George Ganakis.
I've been following him for like 4 years, probably
So
5
have I.
years. I told Golf Digest, I was like, he should have his own little vertical.
Well, he
is the
does.
coolest
His own
dude.
vertical is his own website, and he's making millions of dollars.
Okay,
He made $1 million.
gotcha.
But he's the best coach around. I saw him. I went to see him twice in the last month, the last 2 months. After 4 years of following him, went to see him, and it was amazing.
Really?
Around his little area, he has 4 or 5 guys sitting there all the time, kids helping him.
Yeah.
And there's another teacher right next to him, and it's kind of sad to see that dude like teaching the old ways, and like has nobody there. And George is having the best time in the world, yelling, "Damn, G!"
Yeah.
Now he's got Danny Lee this week as a new Sung Kang, and Danny Lee are his 2 pros.
But this goes back to like that open market thing.
Mm-hmm.
The market's spoken.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
that's literally
Right.
two dudes standing next to each other on a traditional
Mhm.
learn how to play golf. You go see a driving range pro.
Mhm.
That's the free market.
He's just
George
fun.
Gankis.
He's
XYZ
just fun.
dude.
You should go see him,
Yeah.
Kelly. You could be like a good golfer.
I'm down.
I mean, you could be
Set
like
me
a
up.
nasty golfer, really good golfer.
Set me up.
It's a shame that you're not. It's really not.
You could
It's really-
rule. You could rule the Marriott Muni.
You could.
That could be.
I just want to be the
that could
best
be your
golfer at the
patch.
Marriott Muni. That's it. In
That could
Manhattan
be your
Beach,
patch.
I want to be the best golfer east of Sepulveda.
What do we got?
North of
Well, you could
Marine.
win the MPCC member gas. You could win.
What
you
do
could
we?
be that guy.
I'm playing with Skinner. Shout out to
Shut
Rob
the
Skinner.
front door.
The front door is open.
Oh my God! Of
Rob
his
Skinner.
crib, the front door is always open.
Rob Skinner. For those who don't know,
Such a legend.
Rob Skinner.
Look him up, Google him, holler at him.
What do we need to do? Like, do you think that we could use this powerful podcast medium to put the Marriott on blast for not letting 8-year-olds on their golf course?
That was
Anyone
weird.
under 8?
Yeah,
That
so
was
they
disappointing.
they won't let any kids now who are under the age of 8 years old play golf or even be on the course in a stroller, walking, do anything.
If it's an
Grow the
insurance
game.
issue, just get insurance.
Get
Yeah.
insurance or have people
Or
sign
have a waiver.
waivers.
Sign a waiver. Say,
Right.
hey, I gave birth to this child, and I feel pretty comfortable walking him around
Right.
this golf course.
Right.
Yeah.
If he
It's all
dies
good.
playing golf, he's lucky. If he dies playing
Heavy.
golf, we'll bury him on the course, and it'll be
Heavy
awesome.
and coming from a man with no kids.
Well, if your child passes, sorry, or if you pass, wouldn't you want it to be on a golf course?
No, I'd be down to go out, but I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Right. No, I don't want his child to die, Jace. I love his child more than anything. Both of it. Both
No,
of
no.
them.
I just saw an opening.
I wasn't going to be the one that shanks it into his head, so I can say
That would have been me. Maybe
We
maybe
would've
they
kept him
saw
out of the way.
Maybe they saw me coming and said, "He's not allowed on."
Stuff can get crazy. It's funny seeing like some of the golf balls in the crowd hit crowds these days. I mean, it's not. I didn't mean funny. It's just crazy. Like some of them are direct shots of the dome, and you get a glove, a signed glove, and some are in the crotch or some are in the side rib. I don't know the insurance there. It's like who hits a house on a golf course and breaks a window? Who's insurance?
You're responsible.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
I've never known that.
The golfer is responsible.
I always say my credit card that I paid the course with has any insurance behind it, but that's not true. Is
Nope.
it?
I had a dude.
But I'm just saying, theoretically, then you could just blast balls at houses and with no recourse
Yeah,
on purpose.
I had a
Right.
dude.
Don't
come out
try
to me.
that yet. Try it.
Yeah,
Barstool
I had a
Sports.
guy come out to me and
Send
full
it
on,
to.
like,
Send it to.
what's that?
Go ahead. Nothing.
No,
I
there
was causing trouble.
There was a
Yeah,
guy
hashtag.
that walked out. I hit his house like I played like a 5:30 round
Yeah.
winter. I was so stiff, and I just snap hook blasted this dude's house, and he walked out in his underwear, and he had just a huge dude, and just like lost his shit. It was like 5:30 in the morning.
You
No,
living
but the
on the course.
answer is you live on a golf
Yeah.
course. You.
That's what I said.
It wasn't this like sneak attack like I drove by your house and threw a brick at your front door. It's like, dude, you
Yeah.
live on a golf course.
wasn't.
What are you
Hey, man, golf ball
expecting?
hit
What are you
your house.
expecting?
At La Costa Resort and Spa on the South Course 6 years ago, playing with Bart, Blair, and another friend of ours, Bart Wilson and Blair Marlin. We were playing, and someone hit it, our 4th or 5th, a guest in town, hit the same condo on the 5th hole on the South Course 3 times in a row. The 3rd time, I don't mind people playing other balls at all because I just love golf and trying to hit a good one and be in a good vibe. The 3rd one, I was kind of like, wow, it doesn't seem like he's going to fix that little, hard come over the top. This is going the exact same place. And it went not the exact same place. It went the exact same place. And we are in the fairway with his 4th ball, or he dropped next to ours in the fairway. And this is no lie. He grabs his neck and smacks it. He got shot twice with a BB gun in the neck. In our group. You
From
heard
the
a
guy whose house he hit?
yes.
Oh.
You heard a and it hit him in the neck. You know who it was? It was a guest
It was
who was
Bradley
an older
Cooper from
man.
American Sniper.
It was an older man who was like an agent, so he couldn't say, "Hey, bro, don't play." It was kind of it was someone that was older, and he got shot twice, and he was in shock. He got shot once. He was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, oh my God, what was that? A BB gun? That was kind of funny. And then he shot him again. I was like, holy shit, this could get really dangerous, you know? The dude must have just been pissed. That was crazy. That was really crazy. Blair and Bart can verify.
But that's and if you're going to be on any hole to get your house hit, on like for amateurs, being around 250 yards on the left side of the first tee.
Or the right, yeah.
Like
left
that's
or the
left
right,
or right. Like that's the spot.
Right.
If you want to get your house hit, like what's the retail
I have to
on
say-
a house in that general?
Right.
Like I wonder if the price goes down.
I have to
Like,
say,
oh, you're lining the first fairway,
Right.
250 yards out on the right and the left. Yeah, next door goes for 360. Yours goes for 240.
I have to say, on the 15th hole that same day, a girl showed us her breasts from the top of a condo. She was sunning for hitting it on the green, which is great. So it was an up and down day, kind of like golf.
Hey,
Bogey
That's,
birdie, bogey birdie,
It's just a Tuesday for Taylor. you
bogey,
know?
bogey birdie.
Who's ever had a round where someone shot at you and then a girl shows you her tits? That doesn't exist, bud.
Maybe in Phoenix. That would almost happen in Phoenix or somewhere.
well, boys,
Yeah.
hour and 52 minutes. Where can the people find you?
You can find me at kellyjames.com. I really don't do the social media thing strong, but
Yes,
I
you
do.
do.
I do.
Every
No, I
day
do.
you're on a private plane.
I do Instagram. I do Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, that's social media. Are you on? Do you have new music coming out? Question.
Maybe
I-
that song that you played.
But
I
you
do.
won't
That-
hear
that-
it unless you go to a golf tournament. So go to golf tournaments, people.
Yeah.
Hashtag invest in golf.
We only do private shows these days.
What's
private
the,
planes, private shows?
Private planes,
Can I ask
private
a question?
shows.
How much
private
do you
country
hate
clubs.
commercial airlines? Level 1 to 10, seriously. 20?
Flying privates like crack cocaine, heroin, everything
Right.
mixed up into one awesome little bag.
Oh
By no
my
means
God.
am I ripping private jets all over the place on my own volition, but I get a lot of fortunate circumstances that are
Right.
extended my way, and I mean,
you just not
every
gonna say no.
no, God no. Every time I fly private, and again, I'm not sitting
Grateful.
here saying that I do it every single trip, but
Bullshit.
but super grateful, and I always, if it's, let's say if I charter the plane or someone else charters the plane, doesn't matter what situation it is, I remind everybody on board, I don't care who you are, how many times you've flown private. If it's your plane and you've never flown commercial in the last 2 decades, I will say it regardless. It is the greatest luxury in life. And again, it's not something that a lot of people get to do all the time. I understand
Yeah,
that.
I'm
but
gonna text you when I do it,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you if I think
yeah,
that it's
but the answer is this, because when you do it, the reason why it is, and it's not about, it's stupid expensive. It makes no sense, on a balance sheet by any means. There's nothing else you can really do in life that gives you back hours of your life.
yeah. Sure.
And then you throw in the residual benefits of stress, ease, but you get hours of your life back. Like, you can do things that you wouldn't have been able to do. Now, again, it could be the greatest luxury in life if, let's say, your commute was on a ferry and you owned your own boat,
Yeah.
and you could just go back and
But
forth
it's the
whenever
same,
you want to.
it's
Then it's
time.
kind of the same
Yeah, it's
thing.
time.
You're getting time back. In my opinion, you could stay at the Four Seasons in the penthouse. It's still the bed is what it is. There
Yeah.
might be a little bit more comfort, but like negligible. The Hyatt down the street has great beds and great service. It's the same
Egyptian.
thing. By staying at the Four Seasons, you don't get hours of your life back. With private travel, you do. You just do.
Everyone out there, go private whenever you can.
And if you can't,
And buy carbon offsets, because you are killing the planet we live on, which I did for.
And if you
There'll be
can't,
something
if you
soon.
can't go private, remember, it's better than riding a fucking horse.
If you
So,
can't go
let's just
private,
let's just keep
buy
it in
a
perspective.
drone and make the drone carry yourself wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
That could happen soon. Personal drone jets.
I'm telling you
jetpacks.
though, the other piece would just be, and I can't even say this in good faith, but let's stop shutting down airports during times of protest, because that, let's just say there's other places that would disrupt
Right.
travel more
Right.
than shutting down
Right.
LAX,
Right.
Santa Monica Airport.
Important people. You mean important people.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
People that really care. You mean? Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Something would get done if you
Yeah,
protested
you
private
really
airports.
want to piss people off?
Right.
Shut down some private stuff.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's funny.
I never said it.
That's funny.
Well, this has been rad. First guest, episode 3. We came into your office and we set up a bunch of random shit, and it's been fun. It's been
We'll see you down the road.
bang on 2 hours. We played 9 holes. It was
Where to find
really
you and
good
your
day.
band, real quick again? Where to find you and your band?
Yeah, just KelleyJames.com or Instagram is Kelley James Music. Kelley is Kelley.
You don't Twitter or have a Pinterest?
You know, my Pinterest game, it just isn't what it used to be when I was pregnant.
I hear you.
When I was pregnant and getting married.
Yeah.
Well, you can
When I was
follow his hot ass
organizing
wife
my
on Pinterest. Probably.
But no, my Twitter is your boy KJ, but it's all Instagram for me. I got 2 kids, man. I don't have time to
No, I hear you.
to use the Google machine and all that other
I hear you.
technology
He keeps
stuff.
saying I don't have time, but he's flying that private jet. You know,
Hey, that's the
So he
get
has
the
extra
time.
I'm
time.
trying to
Get
get.
the
I'm just
time.
trying to get the
Trying
time to
it
get back to even.
90 shows. I think you're even.
Spoken from the guy with no kids.
I think you're even.
Spoken
Steve.
from the
Living-
guy with no kids.
Taylor living the dream.
They
Matthew.
seem
Yeah.
so easy. They seem so easy.
Yeah.
Well, we love you so much.
Thank
and
you
we'll
guys.
see you down the road.
Congratulations on the podcast. I'm super
We'll
pumped for you.
come back anytime.
Golf needs it.
Let's let's talk about Atlanta. We'll get you Sync and we'll get TM. He has his own legitimate podcast set up, so we can do it anywhere in the world,
Done.
and that would be a good time. I think the guest format's definitely been fun, so
And
we're gonna try and do more.
We'll play Peachtree or Piedmont Country Club when we're there.
In.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
of
right.
that. Down. All right, boys.
All right,
Let's wrap
boys.
it up. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Word.